What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another late night live stream. Y'all know the title, y'all know what it is, so we're going to get right into it. So, anyway, if you all don't know me, my name is Edward Anderson. I am your host of Everyone Hates Black Men. And this is an interesting topic because we are going to talk about two black men. You know, two non-ADOS black men, but two black men all the same. And I'm going to give my thoughts, my reaction, what lessons I think can be learned from the Fresh and Fit Q&A session. So just to let you know, I listened, the way I viewed it was I actually viewed it through two channels. It's no point in mentioning them. And ironically, they're not even black channels. I know JR Wisdom is basically doing kind of a background thing right now, but one of the guys was white and the other guy was I think East European or something, but wasn't quite white. So anyway, so yeah. And so you got to get both of their reactions kind of like based on what we're saying. One dude was a little bit more on it. The white dude was a little bit more, I think, balanced on it. So yeah, that's interesting. But I like politics, and listening to this is a lot like listening to a press briefing. It was a lot like listening to after a debate. It reminded me of a Donald Trump rally, and that's not necessarily meant to be negative. That's not meant to be positive or negative, because I know people on both sides of that. I'm pretty indifferent towards Trump, and it depends on who he's running against, but I did not vote for Trump either time. So, but I give Trump an honest look. So there's that. But the screening, what they did was really not for people that are already Fresh and Fit fans. What they did was for, I guess, two people. Number one, people that already believe everything they say and how they say it. Think of it like the police. People that are team blue, team their blood is blue. That's what that's for. That's literally the textbook definition of what I call plausible possibility, or other people would say reasonable doubt. All right, as far as the last hostage, I've seen Ramil talk about that. That's not really a topic, but I'll speak on that real quick since you gave $5. Make sure y'all hit me on my Cash App as well. But as far as Shinetta, let's be clear here. I've heard a lot about him. His reputation precedes him. I've never listened to his content. I'm not familiar with him personally. I haven't listened to any of his content, and I'm not familiar with him. I do know he comes from the pro-black community. I do know it's convenient for him to lead or at least try to expand from that community, as he has a lot of people that are anti-us jumping on him. Because I guess he's getting his nigga wake-up call as far as a black man, like a black man's wake-up call. That pro-black shit ain't going to work when that guy naturally comes for you. But we'll see what his views are. But I heard a little bit of what Ramil said. I think it was Game Changer. Somebody said he should be in purgatory. I don't know him. And quite frankly, with the Fresh and Fit situation, that should show you no. So he can do whatever he does over there. People in a collab, I guess that's fine. But I'm indifferent to it. I really am. Because I think whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's always the devil's in the details. So he can get mad. A lot of these dudes, they'll get mad at women for a time, and then they go back to what they are. And so we'll see. But that's as far as I think about that. But appreciate that. Angela said they provided receipts. No, they did not. No, they did not. There is not a single thing. There is, I'll say this. Let me say this. I won't say a single thing. I would say 90% of what they put out there is already out there. And the truth is, a lot of what O'Shea knows as far as the behind the scenes, that ain't out there. And that's probably not going to get put out there unless somebody does it. So, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. It's kind of like somebody getting shot by the cops And then what they do is they hold the tape forever because they know ultimately the tape is not gonna, end the conversation. But they let the tape out because people are just looting and shit. So you got to do something. So they say, fuck it, we might as well let the tape go. But the tape, it makes it from like you're all the way wrong to you're mostly wrong. A perfect example. O'Shea is not like the law, but O'Shea just did a video. O'Shea, remember, O'Shea has never said anything really negative about Fresh and Fit up until recently. O'Shea got all the text messages. He did a video on that. If y'all fuck with O'Shea and trust O'Shea opinion, I know all y'all don't. I recommend you watch that video. That'll give you a perfect example of what all the information looks like. So no, they didn't release receipts. And I'll tell you, if these receipts made them look good, they would have released the receipts earlier. Remember, they don't have a PR person. They don't have anybody telling them not to say anything. And they've been doing videos. They've been talking. A lot of what they've done has made it worse. But I appreciate Angela, you being a woman saying that, because that shows, we're all independent thinkers. So not everything's right or wrong. And make no mistake, I saw most of it. I saw like 80% of it. I saw when they mentioned Jessica X and Mr. Fantastic because they didn't like what they said. I saw how even though they probably didn't like what O'Shea said, they're not gonna put their foot in there. They can all look. You can always talk shit about somebody another day. Why would you talk shit about somebody when you're in a vulnerable position? That's already bit them when they low key did that with Kevin. And listening to them reminds me of Donald Trump. It really does. Where Trump just says shit, and then it's like, because he's so used to saying shit, it sounds right to him, and it sounds right to people that really fuck with him, but to everybody else, it doesn't. And it's really interesting when you look at people accusing like Kevin Samuels of having stands, and then you look at all the things that people threw at Kevin that didn't really stick because the shit was bullshit, but they tried so desperately to make it stick. And then you juxtapose that against a lot of this stuff that's like absolutely out there. And a lot of this stuff is unforced errors. I mean, like I said, in a variety of different ways. And I want to make it very clear. Why do I give a fuck about this? Why do I give a fuck about this? I care about this because I understand, like, folks that have been in this space for a long time, that we do not want the work that we do to just be undone. Like YouTube or social media does kind of what they were doing to the conservatives, where they just try to shut everything down, which what a lot of people want. There's a lot of black men that want that. There's a lot of black women that want that. There's a lot of entities that would like that for a variety of reasons. They want their way to be the only way, right? And the biggest issue I have with Fresh and Fit, because I like most people, were indifferent to them. They're over there, they're doing a good production. The stuff is not for me, but somebody's getting value out of it. The end. They're whether they're ADOS or not ADOS, that's irrelevant. They're over there in the white manosphere. You got people getting stronger and stronger over there. We're doing our thing that's completely independent of that. It is what it is. So why does it matter? Why am I doing a video? Why am I even talking about it? I'm talking about it because I hope this. I don't even know if I really want to say. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. And I said this on another panel already. They had a guy that shot some cops, right? This was years ago. This was a couple of years ago, maybe like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Probably like right around the very beginning when I started even having my own channel, putting content up. And it was one of these guys. I think it was the guy that they killed in Dallas with like the remote control bomb that they wheeled in like an RC car. And so this was like 2000, maybe 16, right? 15. And they did records on that guy and found out that guy had bought one of Boyce Watkins' programs. Now we know Boyce Watkins ain't on some anti-America shit. He's an academic and not like really an inflammatory one at that. He's not. He's not. So they did that work and they ended up having a conversation with Boyce Watkins, the FBI, because, and Tariq has alluded to this as far as there's people on Listen stuff. They watch the social media because he bought one pro course from him. Now we know that Boyce's courses are not on some anti-American shit. It's just pro-business. Black people need to get the business up. Whether they're good or not is not really up for debate. And yes, I have bought some of his courses. Some of them are not. Some of them are bad. Some of them are all right. But they had that conversation. Now, I want you to understand that when you really pay attention, really take account of what you typically hear when it comes to Kevin Samuels, people defending Kevin, and what you hear, because motherfuckers always talk that bully shit about Kevin, but they don't really got the evidence to present it like people can really present it with, like, what you've seen a lot of the Myron shit and Fresh and Fit shit. I tend to say Myron because really he's the one that leads that shit. And if you have one of these incels, and I'm not saying all their audience is an incel, but I'm saying if you have one of these guys, that really, and they do something stupid. And here's the thing. What if because most of their audience is not black. What if they're white? But because they say you go in their social media imprint, David Carroll talked about this. Like the first thing they check if you do a crime is your social media imprint to see if there's predictability. You hear it with all these incel shootings. You hear it with these mass shootings. And I'm not trying to be inflammatory. It could be anything. It could be a sexual assault. It could be anything, right? It doesn't have to be, I'm not trying to say, well, they're fermenting terror. That's not what I'm saying, because they could be a sexual assault. Think of the shit that Myron's gotten into, and think of the allegations he's gotten thrown at him, even though that's not thrown at him. Now, imagine if it was one of his followers and then somebody wants to blow it up. Remember, it only took Hannibal Buress sounding the alarm on Bill Cosby to start all that bullshit that ended up with Bill Cosby in jail. And he's on trial till this. Even now, they're trying to put him back on trial. Imagine if a non-black person does some dumbass shit, and then because Fresh and Fit is the main social media they follow, they gonna do what they do. They put the niggas in the forefront. It wouldn't matter if they listen to Rolo, whoever. They gonna put the niggas in the forefront because they got all that dirt out there, and it's easier to make black men fall on the sword for something than them going on. We know the codes. And it's not about hating on them. They are sloppy as fuck. And even in that shit, they want to explain away everything. They say they fucked up like a black woman says they fucked up. It's that backhanded bullshit. The reality is they're going to be the type of folks that if they come out of this, and they most likely will, they will be bolder. They will be more sloppy. They will not be smarter. They will be dumber. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not gonna name YouTubers. I got less than 5,000 subs. Who the fuck am I? But you when you get up to certain levels, you don't have to be there to understand that. It's more of a political thing. So there's people that are gonna hedge their bets. They're gonna not say anything because they're invested in Fresh and Fit success. You heard them say over and over, the people that really fuck with us, we know who fuck with us and we know who don't fuck with us. That means something. So it's not necessarily people that's really coming to their rescue. It's probably more publicly people that's kind of like on a wait and see approach, but privately, they don't give a fuck about what they did. They only care about the fact, do they got the juice? And the one thing you can say about Fresh and Fit is Fresh and Fit has they have an audience. They have like the perfect buyer's audience. They have a what I would call an anti fake guru proof audience. I shared that video with Spencer Cornelia. This is a video that Fresh still has up on his channel. If y'all saw him go through that. That shit don't matter. It doesn't. From a marketing standpoint, perfect audience. It doesn't matter. And then not only does it not matter, those are people that buy shit. They're going to give them money because it doesn't matter the value they provide. It doesn't matter if it's basic. I said some of this stuff on right. It doesn't matter. What matters is they are fully identified and plugged in. And I personally don't care about that. That's not an issue. If they want, I say it all. I said the same thing with Derrick Jackson. People know why they support him financially, whether they're buying a book or whatever. They know what the fuck they're buying. By the thing behind the thing. And I don't have a problem with that. I really don't, because that's a choice. When you have this much shit out there about you and people still support, that's a choice. And that's a choice people have the right to make. Now, what I don't want to see is these motherfuckers get mad later on and they get hyper angry and now it's everybody's fault that they decide to drink Kool-Aid. No, I don't want to hear that, because that's how MGTOW got started at first. When a lot of dating coaches burnt out the market between 99 and 2007, basically what happened is women got smart to all of that. And this is before red pill was there. This was when it was just blue pill dating. They got smart to all of that. It didn't work. They was taking money. Nothing was working. Then all these people got angry. And then they took that, they redirected that once they were done with, a lot of these dudes making money, the gurus, or quote unquote, the original ones. Then they started turning that against women. Women are this and women that. This is why I often say this: what we deal with black women in the black manosphere is very different than what the general American market deals with women. It's not the exact same thing. It may have some similarities in some spots, but we deal with a very different thing because we come at it in a very different way. So anyway, but that's why I care. That's why it matters to me. Because they are sloppy, and it doesn't matter if they don't associate with O'Shea. They are black men. And look, I'm not saying they got to give a fuck, because it ain't their fault they black. It ain't their fault America will make that assumption. It ain't it really ain't. I mean, why should they give a fuck about the black manosphere or the manosphere at large outside of what it can do for them? I mean, you would think it's a community, but they clearly are about money, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they're about money in absence of everything else. I personally think they don't give a fuck about if they destroyed Red Pill because of their bullshit. They wouldn't care as long as they're still making money. And it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to say they're bad people for being that way, but at the end of the day, people have to do what they have to do. That's why it matters. And Poor Man's Podcast has said that. Somebody that, at least at the now, they've said it's very objective. Coach Greg Adams has said that, who is not against Fresh and Fit. I don't think Poor is really against them either. They're not. Poor is kind of speaking to it as to how other people are going to look at it. And that's why it matters. That's why it matters. Because the truth is, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody really gave a fuck about how they were running their business. It's that they got so sloppy because they thought they couldn't get touched. And they just started doing stupid shit. And then it's like you hit an oil tanker. Everything blows up at the same time. But see, the other thing too is, people will be like, well, it's out there. So now it gets to the point where nobody cares. Well, nobody cares until they care. Nobody cares until you pick the right politician that wants to make a campaign, a political campaign, like the liberals want to make a political campaign, and they don't mind throwing certain demographics under the bus to do so. They like black men, the black men that's going to vote for us are going to vote for us anyway, and the ones that ain't, we don't care. So let's target them, because half their ass lean on the more conservative side anyway. So let's get at their ass to shut down anybody that would try to maybe get certain people that would normally vote for us. You never know. Political season is not in play right now. And they would be the perfect target to put them as the face and then you paint everybody else with their brush, and then you start bringing up all this shit, all these receipts, and then you just got to lump everybody together, and what are you really going to do? Because the court of public opinion it doesn't matter who's right in the court of public opinion. It just doesn't. That's why when I hear people that support them talking about these women are wrong, mother, you're dumb. And I'm talking about black men saying that, whether they're ADOS or non-ADOS, any states or not. That's a white female. She doesn't have to be right. You're stupid. I lived in North Carolina during the Duke lacrosse situation, and that was with a black woman with aristocratic white dudes, and I saw what happened to them. I graduated high school when that happened. So that was very close to home. And yeah, like prosecutors pay for that. But man, when that's flipped and that's a white person, we know what happens. It doesn't matter. And so you seeing dudes that they really out here walking around like they not black. And it doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter, because here they're not going to care about that. They like, you look the part, you say nigga, yeah, you wanted them too. And then so that matters. And that is something I didn't hear them address. That's like one of the things I was looking for. They didn't address that at all. They did not address how they want to apologize to their fans, but they don't want to. They act like the shit they do can't like echo. And this is where the folks that are kind of on the sidelines, because understand, these folks that are on the sidelines, look, man, I'm gonna do me regardless. So I ain't getting no money out of my channel like that. To be honest with you, that's why I haven't merged like other things that I do with this. But see, you got dudes, and Coach Greg Adams is like an example, because he's made it clear on the lead attorney that, you know, they want to play it, they need a learn approach. Okay, so here's the thing. Y'all got money, y'all got money y'all could lose. Y'all like, you know, the bigger players, and they don't even need to be mentioned. Y'all got money y'all could lose. So that's on them. You know, and I'm not saying that they should be like, well, Fresh and Fit just needs to not exist. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is they need to make it abundantly clear. Two things need to happen. Either they need to be compartmentalizing their own thing, completely divorced from Red Pill, and they just need to, you know, and do their own thing, like come up with their own brands. Don't even call it Red. Do what Jason Black did. Fuck the Red Pill. It's all about the Black Book. Brand everything so it can be separate, you know? And honestly, that would actually probably really benefit them financially. Or people need to make it very clear that you know, at least that they still fuck with them, because at the end of the day, what I'm saying will fuck them up first. The dating quote unquote Red Pill market will be the first to go, because y'all the ones that are really interacting with women the most. That'll be the first group to go out, and they got the most to lose. So we'll see. Maybe those conversations are being had, and I don't know. Whatever. I'm not privy to that. Maybe they are. Whatever. But I do know when those conversations were trying to be had early on, they was like, fuck that. Enough has come out to know that. So anyway, that's that, to make that very clear. So anyway, what I want to do, because I normally don't do this early, but I don't want to make this no 2-hour stream. You know, I really am trying to get out of here at 2 o'clock. So what I do want to do, Rebecca, yeah, I didn't get to see that, and I'm gonna keep it real. I took bets. I thought they wouldn't cover it. I didn't really believe they would cover it. I thought they were kind of stalling on that. Well, Jim, look, I don't care about their money, because understand something. You know, like one dude said, they still winning because they making money. Ain't nobody trying to take money out their pockets. You know, I could agree somewhat more or less with some of the stuff, monetization, but I could care less. I give no fucks about that. I don't care about that. You know, I really don't. I don't even care about what they're charging. I mean, TLA was talking about that, and they had a big conversation about that on the Lead Attorney's channel. So check that out. But at the end of the day, people are going to buy what they want to buy, and a lot of times people have an emotional attachment to certain people. That's what the marketing is for. And you have like fake guru people that they want to be against that, but people want to act like they're being manipulated. They're not as manipulated as people like to act like they are. They're not. But anyway, what's up, CJM?
What's going, Ed? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. So, what is your and make sure y'all support the Cash App. I'm gonna put that on here. Make sure y'all support. Hit them super chats. I mean, I'm gonna answer y'all. I ain't them. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with them, but I answer y'all questions whether you super chat or not. I shouldn't say that, but I'm just trying to have a conversation right now. But so, what did you think about? So, number one, did you see it? Did you see any of it? Some of it? Did you
Yeah,
see
I've
it
been
through other
watching it
people?
for I've been watching it for a while now. Like, you know me, I'm mid-30s with 2 kids, so I don't watch Fresh and Fit on the daily. But when they said it was going to address everything that was going on, I said I need to check this out just to see what they say. And I'm not going to lie to you. Granted, just from the number of women they were dealing with and like the type of women they were dealing with, they kind of like put themselves in the bad situation because you should have been dealing with these women in the first place. However, when they started pulling up like text messages and DMs, I was like, yo, like, if I'm going to be 100% honest, a lot of the stuff that these women was doing was like, there was a whole lot of cap going on. I ain't going to lie to you.
So give me an example. Well, so O'Shea broke it down too. The chick. So let's start with the white bitch because I'm not. Look, understand something about
That's
me.
the one with the orange nails?
Well, it's only one white chick. You got the white chick,
Okay.
you got the white bitch, the old bitch, and the dumb bitch. That's how I call it. And no, I'm not a misogynist, but I'm letting y'all. I'm from Chicago. We use the word bitch, and I don't have a well, the white chick. Well, I don't.
The
Yeah,
one that's pregnant, that's the one
I
you
don't
talking
like
about?
the pregnant bitch. I really don't have an issue as much with the older chick, Nina, but we're
Okay,
gonna keep
yeah.
this 100 because I want y'all to understand that this ain't me taking. It's not even about taking sides. I'm an umpire. The strikes and balls and strikes. Not no. I'm gonna take everybody's side and they right every. No, we're not doing that here. That's not what I do. Because personally, I'm pretty indifferent to Fresh and Fit outside of their kinetic impact to the manosphere with them doing dumb shit. I don't care about
I'm the
all the
same.
money.
Like I
I
don't have no
want them
problem.
to
Yeah.
spin off into their almost own thing. So if some shit ever pops off for real, they are compartmentalized. That's my that's kind of my position on it. And that's not about taking money away from them or saying nobody said that's how I'm saying. People get what I'm saying. So with that being said, let's start with the white chick first. Because that was the first one that was mentioned.
That's
So
the one that's pregnant right now?
no, that's the well, yeah, 2 of them are pregnant. Though it's only one white chick. It's one like I think racially ambiguous chick. That the one he got pregnant. This the chick talk about she gonna lose her baby because with that,
That's the one you talking about, the one that's gonna lose the baby?
yeah, it's only one
Okay,
white
yeah,
chick.
yeah.
Yeah, she's capping about that, in my opinion. But that's some shit that kind of just came out. But if you actually look at O'Shea's video, because they go through all the text messages. The only thing she did was she left out a text message to Mike Rashid. She left out the fact, which is bullshit, by the way. She should have put it all out there. So, and she left it out the polls, the little poll she did on her in the Instagram stories. But to be fair, and I agree with O'Shea on this, his game, dude, they sell a text message, they sell a DM's course. So you have no text message game, but you're selling a course. So really, and it is what it is, people, whatever. But my thing is, you like anybody could see that she was open, but like I said, O'Shea was he basically he didn't read that shit right and he fucked up that social situation. And so everything that happened after that, yes, I'm not saying she's not bullshitting. I'm not saying you need to believe all women. But what I am saying is ultimately he created that situation. And that's really the point. That's the only point that matters. Anything she does, he created by how he acted initially. And he acted that way because he want to say, you know, like I said, she's a hoe because she fucked X amount of people. Okay, she very well may be that, but nigga, you ain't that dude. You are not like women. If you're trying to fuck a bitch, like game 1-on-1, you don't, especially with white females. This black women may be a little bit different, but with white chicks, you can't just be like, oh, you're a whore, you're a slut up front and thinking they're going to be sexually attracted to that. That's not how white women work. And you know he ain't fucking with black women like that. So you would think he fucked with enough white women to understand that. But what are your thoughts on that situation? We'll go one by one.
Well, to me, it's like not having as much game as people think is one thing, but like harassing and sexually assaulting, that's a whole nother thing. So like people want to say like these guys don't have as much game as they thought. Okay, I'm with you on that. But once you start talking about the other stuff, that's when I'm like, okay, because I've seen the receipts on that. And it's like,
well, what's the
okay.
receipts? No, the truth is they did imply for their audience to attack her. They could say like if you say like don't do it, but she deserves it, and you understand the type of audience he had, because I've gotten a crash course in his audience based on the people that are defending them ferociously across social media because they're everywhere. They're like fucking roaches. And let me say that again so you understand. They're like fucking roaches. So y'all know that wasn't a slip. You know, like seriously. Or, you know, or more like World War Z. Let's say that, like zombies. Because it's not, and I say that because they're being extremely emotional. And you can even hear it in how they're talking. Like one dude super chatted just to complain about how Fantastic was basically being fantastic. They're soft. If they came in our space, they wouldn't make it. They wouldn't. And anyway, but my point is, when you imply that, you're dealing with a very emotional audience that if they feel like it's almost like dealing with John Jones, and then you imply for somebody to do something knowing how they operate, and then you just take off full responsibility for your doing it. They have a big enough platform that they understand what that platform can do to somebody if they direct it. They're not dumb. They're not like understand something. Myron was in high levels of law enforcement. He is a smart guy. I can believe Fresh is dumb. Notice Myron is the main one doing that shit, not Fresh. So that I don't know. So yeah, now is it so serious that she's talking about she gonna lose her baby? No. But the way you look at that is you are a black man classified in the United States of America, and Myron owns the black card enough to say nigga. So he can't try to act like he's black when it's convenient, because then why you say nigga? And you're dealing with a white female in the United States of America. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she's capping. And this is about his business and how this can affect him. If you are really a quote unquote high value man, you understand that. Go ahead. See what your thoughts. Am I wrong? Am I over exaggerating?
I agree with you on that point, like in terms of dealing with white women. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, and this is not just be racist or anything, but those women scare me just because I never really dealt with too many of them. But in my personal opinion, like if I ever see one of them feel like afraid or uncomfortable, I'm completely diffusing it right then and there because I don't want no kind of problem.
In your opinion, would you characterize Myron based on how you've observed him in these situations as having that kind of mentality you just said?
Oh no, he's like, how do I define it? He's like one of those like, and we know guys like this. He's black, but like you know the black guy that
He
like
black, but he don't know he black without a nigga wake up call. That's what that is.
Yeah, like the black guy who he grows up in the nice neighborhood, goes to the private school that's like majority white, and he don't know he black.
I wouldn't even say that, because those guys, they understand. They may not be on it like that, but they still have an understanding of where their limits are. It may not be on them a lot because they're comfortable, but they're not dumb. You know what I'm saying? They're not dumb. They're not that good. Again, my thing is it goes back to the sloppiness and how what they do blows. Now here's the thing. They still got momentum and they got stuff like that, but nothing lasts forever. Don't be like these OnlyFans bitches thinking you can't never get touched. But my point is that if the shit gets big enough, they shit could be shut down. Like, it really could. I mean, they still pull the majority of their money from a YouTube channel, and that could be turned the fuck off. Like, that's kind of like what they're approaching with some of the bullshit. Because I don't give a fuck what y'all say. If, let's say that female did lose her baby, and she said it was their fault, it don't matter if she lying or not. And that's what a lot of their audience don't understand. It don't matter if she capping. Like, y'all haven't learned anything.
Especially not in 2021.
Y'all ain't learned nothing from Me Too. Capping don't mean shit. Like, y'all really out here thinking this is like a legal argument. Nigga, look at what you could agree or disagree with Bill Cosby. A lot of them bitches were lying. It don't matter. Even the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania said that was bullshit. Hold on, let me read the super chat. TJ17, shout out to the $9 super chat, says great content, Ed. Dude's gotta stop. Starts risking everything for pussy and clout, and with people are the first ones to throw you under a bus for the smallest issues. Just keep it private and nonchalant. And and some of the stuff you can't close all exposures, but their stuff is like wide open. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, like, even with Cosby, I'm not even talking about like what he did or didn't do. It was just how it went down. Like, for people who don't know, basically they wanted him to testify in the civil trial so they could finish the civil trial. They said, okay, if you testify in the civil trial, we won't charge you criminally.
Well, yeah, they lied to him. They lied to him. And it's basically the first person. Well, I'll say this. The first prosecutor honored his agreement. A new prosecutor came in and said, fuck that. Exactly. But see that. But the thing about it is, but when you look at the kinetic consequences, they expected Cosby to die in prison. Like, let's be clear, Cosby old enough to where you can make that reasonable assumption. Right. So my thing is, you if you're in the mode of I'm right and you're wrong when you're dealing with women, you're in a losing. You've lost. On top of that, you're talking about a white woman. No, you can't. Like, that's not gonna work. Now, all of them ain't white, but that's why does that matter? Social awareness. These guys are supposed to have social IQ. These guys are supposed to have social wisdom that you give these young guys, because these young guys are in an environment where shit like that go. They're not going to have the money and followers to protect them like Myron did. So if you're listening to these guys and you think, because think about it, they were out here saying, yeah, man, I appreciate, the Duke and this for going to Jessica's exes and defending us and all of that. But guess what? If they get in a situation similar to that, guess the fuck what? You fucked.
I heard it sounds like she over there backtracking right now too. That sisterhood came out of her real quick, but that's a whole other story.
I mean, she wasn't really going at them in the first place. She was real. What she wasn't. The problem is you got dudes that listen to them, but it don't. Man, let's be clear here, and I'm gonna tell y'all this straight up. Myron could kill somebody, and y'all be like, it had to be on self-defense off top. I'm not saying I would say it wasn't, but y'all would assume like. If you understand Fresh and Fit, understand how true believers in Donald Trump, the motherfuckers that stormed the Capitol. That's basically what you're dealing with. Logic is irrelevant. It's like talking to Cynthia G subscribers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The logic is irrelevant. And so, if anything, you're saying what you're saying for the audience to hear it, but you're not saying nothing to convince somebody of your opinion.
I feel you on that, but like,
yeah. So go ahead.
I was just saying, like, overall, like in terms of
the Duke is in the chat. Shout out to the Duke.
The reason why I was checking on this is because I was unclear of what was going on. Like, I was under the impression that they was like on the verge of sexual assault and stuff like that. So I had to check it out just to see, like, hold on, what exactly are these guys doing? So what I'm seeing is they're definitely being reckless, definitely culturally unaware, definitely dealing with women they don't need to be dealing with at all. But in terms of like the
I don't even care about all of that. At the end of the day, they represent the red pill, and them doing all this bullshit can affect a lot of different people. That they just way beyond them. That's the issue. I'm not.
they're
here,
definitely like they're putting themselves in unnecessary situations.
Yeah, because I don't give a fuck about the fuck boy shit. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't give a fuck if Myron said that, you know, because they said that he said that he ain't gonna take care of the kid. Well, you know, shout out to Ramil. You know, we believe in walking. There's certain dudes that believe in walking away from bad situations. Trust me, I don't like that bitch. That bitch he got pregnant, he fucked his shit up. Like, that's the argument that I'm making. And if people want to listen to that, go ahead. I'm not here to tell you not to. But again, I tell people all the time, you're accountable who you listen to. And what I don't want to do is down the road when I'm out of this shit and then I come back and I make peep in, you got a whole bunch of angry motherfuckers that used to listen to Fresh and Fit, and now y'all on some hate shit, because that's how it used to be on with them PUAs. Motherfuckers gave all that money to those PUAs. Even back with Alan Roger Curry, they used to jump on Alan Roger Curry because Alan Roger Curry was a direct dating guy. You know, that's what Mode 1 is. And they were all about indirect. So because you can make more money off indirect, they would shame direct. And then what happened is these guys weren't learning anything. And because they weren't learning anything, and on top of that, the women were getting better at catching the shit, these guys were getting clowned because they never really did a lot of inner work. They never did the work to actually become better men. And a lot of these guys became the impetus to a lot of the angry MGTOWs, a lot of the blame the BBC for everything MGTOWs, a lot of that alt-right racial bullshit. That's where that came from. And y'all may think I'm capping on that. Go look up, I don't even got a problem with this guy, but go look up Eben Pagan. His pen name is David D'Angelo. You had a lot of, and I'm not saying that's who Fresh and Fit is. They're not internet marketers. Not like by trade. Okay, so let me be very clear. That's not what I'm accusing of. But in the first era, you had a lot of internet marketers that were in the dating niche, and they knew how to market to you all. Again, that's not what I'm saying Fresh and Fit is. They're not like trained internet marketers. But in the first era, that's what it was. And you have a lot of that energy going on. But my bad. Go ahead.
But yeah, just overall, I think they probably should definitely give Kevin Samuels an apology, because they kind of, went kind of a little crazy.
I mean, that's up to them. That's up to them. That's between them and Kevin.
And then, like, overall, they can still do their show, but they need to, like, revisit how they do it, because when you bring in that many women and that many different racial groups that often, you're putting yourself in the position where you're going to find yourself in this same situation again. So I don't know how they're going to change it up and still keep.
They can do what the fuck they want to do. I mean, the reality is the views haven't really taken a hit. Don't understand something. Don't let the subscriber drop fool you. The core believers is just like when people, you gotta thin the herd. That's why that's kind of like how they were framing it. Like, we're thinning the herd. We're finding out who fucks with us. The people that fucks with them, think about it. I can count when I come online, and I go live. Even if I go live at like 3:00 in the morning, there's like 40 people I can count on within 15 minutes that'll be on here no matter when I go online. Shout out to y'all. And then depending on what's going on, I could get 100. If I bring BGS on, I could get like 150 or like usually up to 300. But there's like 40 people I could count on. And they got there like, I would say 4,000 or 5,000 people out of the 8 that they could count on. And those are a lot. And the thing is, they're getting money out of them because they have because I'm not going to go through and expose it, but I'm curious to see, because I looked at that Spencer Cornelia and he showed some of their marketing as far as behind the scenes, and the shit is funny as hell. But yeah, but if you're in their orbit, I mean, it's going to make perfect sense to you. If somebody else wants to come up, if somebody that supports them wants to come up, y'all have a right to come up. But anyway, I don't like that. Like, trust me, that chick on that baby shit, she can go to hell with that. That's bullshit. She don't got to be online. They're attacking her online. She don't got to be online. She could control. Her business is not predicated on her being online. She has her clientele. She could cut the crap about that. Also,
and plus, it's like, even with being online, It's so many things you can do. Like on Instagram, you can turn off your comments so where you can post
Yep.
and can't nobody comment.
But
And then
what it
on
is she's trying to she's that I mean, I'm not gonna act like there's zero. Yes, there is some. If you look at her YouTube has like 6,000 subscribers. She has 40,000 on Instagram. To give you an example, Sweet Melody has 20. So she fitness is hard to get on. It's hard to get on. So the reality is, she hasn't demonstrated she can transfer her Instagram to her YouTube. So I'm not gonna act like she all that and a bag of chips. And she's probably using this to promote, because if you look at her videos, she ain't got shit. So yeah, she's adding on to it, but Myron, if you look at it from a game perspective, that was a flunk on that. But I'm not saying they're doing well, whatever. So that's the first thing. So some of the stuff she's overcapping as far as that baby shit, but as far as those text messages, even the stuff she left out, she was basically making him look. So here's the thing: if he approached her the right way, then he should have no problem with her showing text messages, because that's a reflection of his ability to actually engage a woman. Now, because that's not reflective in a positive way, he didn't like that. Now, granted, she did come at him and started bothering him, which ironically, somebody that actually has skills in game would have understood that's because think about it. You want emotion from a woman. You want her engaged. So by him ignoring her, she came back. And so he probably could have reset the conversation. Now, let's be clear here. I am like backseat quarterbacking. I'm not going to act like I'm not. We understand that these things happen in real time and it's different. I'll give him that. But his main strategy was to use my business and my status to get easy pussy. But he's selling game. It's kind of like me saying, I'm selling you the ability to fix cars, but even the most basic car jobs, I'm still going to Jiffy Lube on. But I know how to fix. I'm selling you a course on how to do like rebuild transmissions and shit. That don't sound right. But again, they're not buying his content. They're buying him. That's the same thing. That's Derek Jackson in reverse. So that's the first one. Any final thoughts on the first one? And like I said, anybody that wants to come up, like the Duke is in here, y'all want to give, their take, I ain't going to beat you up. Questions will be asked, but I'm not going to beat you up. We all heard the same shit. Y'all are open to do it. And this ain't going to be forever in a day. But any final thoughts on the first pitch?
Yeah, I would just say overall, like their problem is like they're just just interacting with too many women that they should not be dealing with in the first place.
What do you mean?
Like some of these interactions they're having with women, that's like an interaction you would have with like your girlfriend or your wife. Like I would expect a girlfriend or a wife to send multiple messages back to back to back. Some chick that you're trying to do YouTube videos with, if she's sending you a bunch of messages back to back, that means you're trying to collab with the wrong type of women. But here's the thing: there's a certain type of woman that's gonna make good content for good videos. So it's like you're dealing with these volatile women for the views, but there's a downside to that. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna have to try to revamp their whole scheme, because if they don't switch things up, they're going to be in the same position again.
I mean, that may be true. I don't necessarily agree with the women texting back to back to back. That's an indicator of interest. If you're looking from text message, remember you can't really gain tonality in text message. That's supposedly why emojis exist, which I generally refuse to use emojis. But
but my thing is this is like, if I don't know you like that, there's no reason why. Like if you say something and I say something back, and we're not on the same page, there's really no reason for you to be hitting me up back to back to back, and we don't know each other like that.
Well, again,
those emotions reserved for a girlfriend,
Yeah, I understand that, but there's different perspectives on that. Because the thing about it, and I know that because I'm not a DM guy like that. I'm really not. I'm a pick up the fucking phone and talk guy. But I know enough people that, young people that deal in DMs and shit that I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying you gotta understand there's an age thing there. You're more closer to my age. And the reality is if you deal with folks that are like 20, like Myron is 31, so he is like close to our age. But you also got to understand that if you're engaging that way, it's different. It's different. That's an age thing. But understand the critical thinking. You can still lean towards Myron, but still recognize the way he engaged. The thing that you're gonna see with probably me talk about Myron. Myron has a lot of unforced errors, and you don't even see all
I agree with you on that.
You don't even see all the unforced errors. Like, it's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and trust me, he's gonna continue to do it because he lets his ego get in the way of shit. And I think there's feelings there that he has that flares the fuck up. It's kind of like dealing with a white dude that likes to hang with black people, but he's still a white dude at the end. Like, you deal with somebody in Boston where they may like black people, but you're still dealing with a motherfucking white boy from Boston. So you're going to get some Boston shit, out of them. And you just got to understand that. Yeah. So that's the first chick. And no, I don't call every woman a B, but those chicks I particularly get on my nerves. Hold on one second. Hello, what is up? Do you realize you're on? Do you know you're on camera? I just want to let you know. Rebecca?
Yes, I know. That's why I'm putting not me on camera, because I don't know how to take it off. Can you hear me?
Let me see. So you should, if you're looking, are you on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, so you should see something that looks like a camera. It's by the mute button on your phone.
Yep, I see it.
Click that and it'll take you off.
All right, gotcha.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So before, because I'm still in the beginning. So let me do this. What are your Did you see a lot of it? I seen you in the chat, so I know you've seen some of it, but I don't know how much.
Yes, I actually did see quite a lot of it. Hold on a second. I need to plug you back in.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why I couldn't hear you well. Okay. Talk again?
No, absolutely. So what did you think about what you saw overall?
I felt like they didn't really... I felt like a lot wasn't answered. A lot had already been revealed. Honestly, when I was watching it, and I kept putting a question in the chat. And what I wanted to know was, can you answer the monkey sound that you made when you talked about Preach? Can you answer why you talked about sending them back on the boat to Haiti? And they never answered that. So, and I was surprised nobody else asked that. None of the other members asked that. So that was my biggest question, is why that was never answered.
Question: do you feel? I want to stick on that. Do you feel like they were given a pass?
In some ways, yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So let me tell you real quick. I'm gonna be real quick, and then I want to get your other thoughts. So on that, they did say that they apologized to, I guess, either Abba or Preach or both of them.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that they said, they needed to make a specific apology. They did three things. They talked about his wife, they talked about his country, and they did the sounds. Now, there's an element there of, well, here's the thing that needs to be understood. That all of them that were in that beef are not African American, right? So, Abba,
right.
One of them is Ethiopian.
I don't think any of them are.
No, none of them are. So I want to add that context.
Right.
You're dealing with like a global black thing, and then when you
right.
look at
Abby's
the fact,
Ethiopian and Preach
is Haitian,
exactly.
and then Fresh is from Barbados, and then Myron is from the northern Sudan. So he's
right.
mixed with Arab.
But
so
they're all considered people of color, but I get what you're saying. I absolutely
so with them that would fall in the tribalistic stuff, because that's how it was aimed at. And so in that, they needed to make a specific apology, because clearly he got mad enough to where he wanted to do that boxing thing. So if you really were going to be sincere about it and really own up to it, that's what I was looking for. And I agree with you that did not happen. And we already know that if certain people would have said that, that would be a completely different thing. it would be a completely different way people would even view that across the board. But the truth is, most of their audience isn't really, people of color. That's not the majority of their audience. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that. But that's a great point that you highlighted. So what else? What are some of your other stuff as well?
As far as watching the stream, I felt like a lot of things they covered had already been covered before. Like, these are things that other people had already spoke of. You're not bringing any revelation. Like, there weren't a lot of new revelations. It was just your spin on it. This is why we did this. This is why we did that. And so at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter. Now, with the thing with
they did keep on acting like they was giving all these receipts. They kept on saying that over and over and over.
Right, and I wasn't seeing a lot, anything new really. And like the thing with the Miss Cheek, that thing didn't even matter to me. You put yourself into that. As far as her, she got into from her own account, she got into a relationship with him.
Yeah, I want to make it clear. I don't think Myron, I wouldn't care. I personally, and I know you didn't say it, but I'm saying it. I want it clear in case there's people that listen to this that fuck with them. I don't characterize nothing really Myron did as what you would call predatory. It looks bad. Right. It may be, you could argue he's a creep. You could argue he's a fuck boy. You could make those arguments, and I wouldn't argue with you too much, particularly the fuck boy thing. But I wouldn't argue that nothing he has done that's been revealed is actually predatory. The closest thing would be him kind of low key implying his followers need to. But that's like the closest thing. But other than that, I want to make that clear because sometimes, because like CJM, you said, kind of like, the way as much noise about this has been made, you would think it is some shit that's like on that level, because why would so much noise be made? So I wanted to acknowledge that I do think some of the stuff he's done is racial, because that's not the only shit he's done. By the way, the monkey side, that's just what he did, Auburn preach. But I'm not even gonna jump on that. But I want you to finish what you guys say, Rebecca, and then I'm curious as to how you initially found Fresh and Fit.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish what I'm gonna say. My biggest thing is taking money from his supporters. I'm not talking about the Allende shit or any of that, because that's bad too. But just portraying something, and okay, so this is the biggest thing. I was already looking like, he's charging so much for this, and then he's doing this. He's not living by it, and then he's doing this, and we're talking about Myron because Fresh just follows him. So I was looking at their community page, and they had posted something, and this guy had just bared his heart, was like, "Oh, thank you. I'm always going to be with you, and I always support you, and I love watching your stuff because you've really helped me." And they said, "Thank you." And then said, "For more help." And they posted sales. They sold their products in that response to him. And I was so appalled at that point in time. Like, this guy is thanking you in this. You should have given him much, and he was praising you. You should have given him a much longer thank you before selling him stuff at least. But maybe not sell him stuff at that point on a post everybody could see.
Yeah.
It's
for the people that's gonna buy. And one thing about controversy or polarization is and people learn this with whether you're for Trump or not for Trump. It definitely was effective because the people that were against him were really against him. The people who were for him were really for him, and it does a good job at separating. People, the people that you want to buy, even with the subscriber loss, the people that really fucks with them, now they know who really fucks with them, and the people that don't, it's like, what are you really gonna do? Because can you really stop bigger YouTubers from messing with them? Because the value is, if you got buyers that are sticking with them, people are not gonna throw that away. For what? For what really? Like I said, it ain't like anything he's done. Like there's other YouTubers like Heavenly Controller that you may not know who that is, but that has 850,000 subs, and that's another African American, or at least he's a person of color in the United States. You know, he's black, and he is being accused of shit like that. You know, and so. Like I said, this is actually, you would have heard that if this stuff wouldn't have blew up like it did. Not to mention Brother Polite, which that's here nor there. So my question with you too is how did you come to their content? I'm curious.
Okay, so I am I stopped getting on like social media other than YouTube because there's a lot of division in my own family as far as politics and stuff. So, and you know, friends. And so I was like, I'm not going to get on that anymore. And I just started watching videos. And so one day I came across one of their videos. And honestly, I was watching it and I'm like, I'm not going to lie, it was entertaining. I thought it was entertainment. I really did. And I was like, these guys, they're freaking crazy.
Would you care? I'm not trying to lead you on, but would you, if I were to say that their stuff is dating entertainment, would that be an accurate characterization to you?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just laughed at it and I thought it was funny, and I was like, I can't. I mean, and the comments were even funnier because I was like, I can't believe people really think that they really owned all these girls. Like a lot of times they do, because the girls, they're not in the best mind, I guess, to explain their positions, you know, and you know, I saw like maybe about my fourth video I watched was with the redheaded girl, and I felt like she really had some good stuff to say, and she was trying to, and then I noticed that Myron was using a tactic to deflect, interrupt, and do all that stuff, and I was like, I can't believe nobody could see what he's doing. But it was, I mean, I just watched it to laugh at it and have fun, and but to be honest, yeah, their views were.
How long have you been listening to them?
For probably only a month.
Okay, so I mean, but still, you know, they do a lot of content, so yeah, okay. And you said their views are what?
I think their views. Honestly, I agree with some of the things.
No, I mean, look, I'm not gonna beat you up for like,
no.
If you think it's misogynistic or anything, like, you're fine, because I really want to get your perspective.
No, some of them, I believe some of them are, but that wasn't what I was gonna say. I think their views are a little distorted because their views are all on the man's perspective, which is good. You know, you got to have the man's perspective, which is why I watch things from men on YouTube and stuff to see what is their perspective on things. But it's just they brought these girls on as a ruse that we're going to have a conversation with girls, but that never happened. It was, we're going to have an argument with girls, and then we're going to overpower them, and then we're going to be prepared and not tell them what we're going to talk about ahead of time. So there was never a true representation of both sides. I think that's how I feel like there was never a true representation of both sides, because honestly, there's a way, there's things that men want, there's things that women want, and at the end of the day, if we don't meet in the middle, somebody is not going to be happy.
Do you think that the girls that they bring on are really the best selection to have that conversation that you just characterized?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Like I said,
and you're not the first person to make that claim. That like it's almost like the girls they have serve two purposes. One is they could be eye candy to a younger demographic, because their demographic aims younger, and I mean that's fine, because that's what that's why they lean to the information so much. And the second thing is, it helps. People have accused them, and I've heard there's a guy by the name of Spencer Corellia. You should check him out. You'll probably like him. And the videos he's done, he does like a lot of anti-fake guru content. One of my favorite shows is American Greed on CNBC. He does stuff like that, and he's really good. 220,000 subscribers, white guy, and he I know that doesn't matter, but I'm just saying. But he's done 2 videos on Fresh and Fit so far, and on the fake, kind of like on a fake guru kind of thing. And in the recent video, the first video he did was about a fake Lambo thing that Fresh was doing. He alluded to kind of what you're talking about, that they use the girls that they have for 2 purposes. One is attract eyeballs for the audience that are their core audience, and the other one is to kind of help serve the narrative, the kind of the women are trash narrative. And if you bring you ain't characterizing it, I am. If you bring up OnlyFans girls, that's going to be reflective. People are going to think, there are people out there, people can say it's slut shaming, whatever, that think women to do that are trash. They don't think that's the apex of what a woman should be, and that's not going to be what should represent womanhood. Even if you're somebody on some feminist views, that's not what they're going to select to represent that. We know this, right? Whether people can agree with it or not, we know this. So, and then I'm not saying those women are dumb. I don't know, because there are women that do sex work that know how to talk and are intelligent. I've seen it. But if you're really gonna press, if you're really gonna press the debate on views, I'm not saying you need to bring in like feminists are not attractive, but they're normal girls, and look, they can do what they want. Clearly, they're making money. So who the fuck am I to tell them what to do or not do? But I get what you're saying is basically what I'm saying. So you've been looking at them a month, because the reason I'm asking you these questions, because you don't really fit their core demographic. So I found it interesting, and actually maybe a demographic they're not looking at is that people that would be attracted to their content for no other reason than like entertainment value, like reality TV. Now, did you see the situation that happened with somebody breaking into their studio?
Yes.
What did you think about that?
Okay, so first of all, I gotta say, even though I found their content, I gotta take this backwards, and I know I'm being a female right now, really, by taking this backwards, but I found their content really on my own, but I'm an Abbott and Preach subscriber.
Okay.
For the last 3 years.
Okay.
Yes. So I've loved them and everything. So I was really watching this stuff.
I personally don't know nothing about Abbott and Preach, to be honest. I never listened to a single. I've listened to maybe 30 seconds of their content. So just so you know but go ahead.
No, it's all cool. I love Abbott and Preach. I really like their takes on things. I do not agree with everything they say, but love to watch them, have fun with them, whatever. So I watched, I found them a few weeks ago, and then hold on just 1 second. I'm trying to remember your question. What was it again?
My question, so you brought up the Abbott and Preach, and my question, I basically made a statement talking about, because you kind of a demographic I never considered, which people that wouldn't care about the information, but the entertainment value. I asked you, did you see the break-in?
Oh, yes, I did see the break-in. So that's why I was following that. I saw the break-in video, and you want to know what I think of that.
For entertainment standpoint, do you think so first thing, do you think it was real? Do you think it really happened?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And that's because I saw the video before that video by him and Larjay. Do I think he should have went there and did that at that particular time? Not necessarily, no. I don't think he should have handled it that way. But I know that even though men like to say don't react emotionally, he went with his emotions. This dude isn't responding to my messages, so I'm going to go there and make him respond. And I think that's what that dude did.
assuming that's real, and I'm not really on the it's not real team,
Right.
but I'm open to somebody that wants to make that case. I'll say that. But
Right.
assuming it's real, I think, that was handled the best way it could have been, as far as de-escalation, and I'll give Myron credit for that, because people say, well, if I would have did it, we would have fought. That doesn't really benefit Myron. Even if he would have won,
No,
not
I'm
good,
not
because
saying Myron. I didn't say Myron didn't handle it the best way.
no. I know you're talking
Iron
about the
Man
dude that
didn't.
actually went to the
Oh yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm talking
cool.
about the Myron.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because the reality is, you got to stand your ground in Florida, and
Hmm.
we got lawyers in our space.
Right.
Like the lead attorney and others, and
Oh yes, I love
they
him too.
yeah, so and they got another one by the name of Dennis Sperling. And you in states like Texas, you do something like that, that's textbook. You get shot, that's on you. Like once that lock is broken, and you dealing with somebody that's in law that was in law enforcement that would understand that. So like I said, I can appreciate, even whether it's self-serving or not, I'm not gonna say that. Like Myron's ability to actually de-escalate that, because that could have went another way. I mean, because I don't. That's why when people tell me like it's fake, I don't necessarily 100%
No.
dismiss that. Although I think most likely the odds are it's not. But it's like, why would a
Right.
dude get that far and then just back the fuck off? Because it was almost like he didn't want it. It was. I'm not gonna say Myron didn't do a good job de-escalating that, but it was almost as he needed Myron to do something to give him permission to do that next step. And Myron is
Uh-huh.
just trained. He's not going to do that. So because he
Right.
didn't get that, he didn't take that step because he didn't want to be the absolute aggressor. Because if you listen to what Myron's saying, and people know Myron is as high that he's done law enforcement. So it's like he knows
Right.
the law. So you're dealing, and then dude has a felony too. They did that. So who you gonna believe?
I heard that. I heard that. I don't know what it's for though. Like,
But who you gonna believe? It don't matter what the felony's for. Somebody's
right.
got a fel, especially when they got the
Exactly.
phones out. And then
Hmm.
you went to his house. That's easy.
Yeah.
So and that's why he threw that
Exactly.
at him. So
And they're in
anyway,
Florida.
so yeah, I appreciate CJM for kind of being quiet. Yeah, like I said, this is already at 144, so we're gonna do closing thoughts. But what I do want to get from you is, tell me about, like, what do you like about our, because most of my audience in our sector, because we're in what we call the
Hmm.
Black manosphere. And the only
Hmm.
difference between that and like something Myron does is our audience is more focused towards just Black men. Not saying nobody
Right.
else can be in it. It's just that's what our audience targets, versus Myron and them. They're more they have a mixed audience. They
Hmm.
have a mixed audience. Their audience is bigger, so it's
Right.
gonna be like the same thing like Ava and Preach. Um so so you said you've been looking at Ava and Preach for 3 years, so that means you've seen their growth.
Yeah.
I mean, I see him at 1.4. That's a lot.
Yeah.
What is it? Because they say, I've been told they talk about everything. What do you like about their channel? And like I said, this is coming from people that don't know nothing about them.
Okay. So, what I like is, for one, they could be funny sometimes. They have fun together, but they also talk about things that, as a female, a lot of times I'm like, oh, I didn't think about this way. And they give a man's perspective sometimes, and I'm like, didn't think about this way. But not just as a female, they just talk about all kinds of different social issues and things that I can listen to and disagree with, but really not even be mad at them about disagreeing with it, because they give their reasons. And I'm like, okay, I understand their reasons. It's different than like when you're listening to politics, they're saying these people are wrong, these people are wrong. They never say these people are wrong. They're just like, this is how we think about this, and this is why we think about this. And I just like to get different perspectives, and so they talk about things seriously, but a lot of times they're funny, and a lot of the things they review also are funny. And so that's kind of how I ran across them, is seeing some funny content and just after about maybe the fourth or fifth video, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to them because they're funny. So
Yeah, I know how that works. When you're dealing with the
yeah,
entertainment side, there's YouTubers, Long Beach, there's bigger YouTubers. Yeah, they're good at roping you in that way. And then you start
yeah,
going through a lot of their stuff, and then that's how they get their money. I mean, that's why they're at the level they are. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So last question: what do you think about their beef between them and Fresh and Fit? Because I mean, you found Fresh and Fit on that a month ago, which
Yeah,
means you would you already knew who Auburn
I
Preach
was
was, so
already in
you would have
Auburn.
seen that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
Because
already a
most of
friend
their
of
lost
Auburn.
subscribers, I personally think, are from Auburn Preach.
I would bet money on that. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I would bet money on that. I never subscribed, so I never subscribed to Fresh and
Oh,
Fit
okay.
because, yeah, I watched them and listened to them, but I was never a subscriber. So there was no issue there. Um, Here's the thing. I don't think that Abba and Preach did anything different than what they normally do by reacting to something. I didn't feel nothing different when they did it because I had seen the issue on the podcast. And on the podcast, they told them, they were laughing at him and disagreeing with him. And, it was kind of known that they didn't agree with that particular issue on the actual podcast. So when it came up later, I wasn't surprised. Here's another video. It come up later, and I was shocked that they got upset. But at the same time, I have a 22-year-old young black man as a son, so I understood
Okay.
where their emotion came from. But I was just like, oh, you don't do that. You don't do that. Always told my son, you gotta watch what you do in public and in the eye, and because anything can come back at you. So I was just shocked that Myron and Fresh, whatever, reacted that way. I was kind of shocked. But at the end of the day, if I don't think Abba and Preach really did. I see a lot of people saying they brought this on because they talked about this months later, but that's what they do. Their reaction channel, they do it. It didn't even surprise me when I saw the reaction. What
Um,
surprised me was their reaction to the
Yeah,
reaction.
if Fresh, I mean Fresh, and I get why they could have had an emotional argument, but that's why there's private things that you could do a while out on so it don't get
Mhm.
public. Also for people to want to act like everything's all business, that's one thing they were preaching is business and business and business. They clearly didn't understand that was business. And it's not like that's a bigger channel, so you still have every
Yeah.
ability to come up with that. You could have easily said, look, if y'all have problems, I'm ready to have a round two and we can really get to the bottom of this. The also as far as the topic, the other thing too is they actually backtrack. They tried to mellow that out. They said, oh, well, we don't have a problem with people that do. We just tell our guys not to. And it's like,
Right.
because that's not the stance they took. They took a stance saying you're not a man if you do this. Versus, from what I observed, Aubrey Preach had more of a open-ended, like some people may, some people
Mhm.
may not. Sometimes
Right.
people, I could understand why people in certain classes
Oh,
do. I could
oh,
understand.
you was asking me about the actual argument.
Yeah, well,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I'm just saying, like, there's an argument to be had. Because no, I was asking about the beef. No, you answered it right.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just saying with the argument, they
Yes.
flipped. They flipped. They mellowed. They mellowed in the video today. They mentioned that and they said, well, we
Yeah.
just tell our guys not to do it because we don't think they should pay for the box, but we understand if people
Right.
do it and that's okay. So
Oh yeah.
basically, you took their argument and they didn't say they told people not to do it, but you took literally kind of the opposite side of the coin the Auburn Preach took.
Right.
Versus now
Right.
the issue was you want to say somebody's not a man, and see that wasn't directed at them. They could still have that argument, but then when you look at what came out now, and it's like, yo, you using your business for sex That's transactional too. That's just tricking with extra steps.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. Because I thought the same thing. Like, if somebody is going to have
But
sex
that's
with
a
you
culture thing.
for clout, why would that be any less transactional? It's
But
still going to be
that's a culture thing. Like, honestly, that's a culture thing. Because when you look at it, like, even in the United States, culture, like, if you look at every other group, they tend to have more Auburn preaches position on it. They may do it. They even if you say I wouldn't do that, they don't have this like aversion to it. And I'm not saying you should, because the thing about it is, this is why this is important. And I'm gonna say this, and then we'll get the closing thought. This is important because, even let's say you're somebody where you would never do that, you just don't believe in doing that. The reality is, and I'm just gonna say this, there are certain men categorize women. There are women that are wife material. And I'm not saying it's black and white. We know there's degrees in there, so I'll acknowledge that.
Honey, women categorize men too.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So I mean, but even still, like, so I know there's degrees, just like there's degrees with men. But there's women that are. We'll say this: there's women that are relationship material, whether you codify that relationship in a wife or a long-term relationship, and there's women that are basically to have fun with. And here's the thing. The women that are it's not like you're taking women that are bright. Nobody agree. Nobody really is co-signing taking women that are bright-eyed and they haven't done anything and just turning them into those other women. But if those other women are volunteering to be that, like, if you're on that and you say you're on that, and I'm not saying you're supposed to disrespect them or say you're this or you're that, but if you approach them that way, if you engage with them in that, like when women talk about, I want to have a whole phase. Well, to have a whole phase, you got to deal with a dude that's willing to do that with you. So if you're engaging with a woman when she's in that mode, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong for segment for women like that. The problem is, Myron, you're telling guys to be very narrow-minded and focused. Like, a perfect example, Rob Kardashian, and Black China. He should have paid her. Now he has a kid with her, and she's very uncooperative. It's not a great situation. He should have paid her. Like, that's obvious. And even so, anyway, that's like a very hard, easy example for somebody to understand. But Pete, well, I'm going to go into detail. But the point is, even if you're not like that, you still need to have that mindset where how you allocate your time, how you engage women. Because if you're looking at women like, game only changes women so much. You're not going to take a woman and basically rewrite her because she has her own agenda. And
I am clapping my hands right now.
And so if you have this mentality where you can rewrite a woman, you actually give them the advantage, because women are evolutionary better social creatures than we are, because you have to be, for a lot of reasons. Dealing with babies, emotional intelligence, so they can sniff guys like they can sniff guys like that out. And if you're on some, I can do this and do that, you're not really paying attention to what's in front of you. Or go ahead.
I'm going to say, let me tell you the truth, though, because women out here doing the same thing, trying to play the same game with men. They are. Not me, but, and not a lot of my friends, but a lot of women, some of my friends, are out here trying to play the same game. And at the end of the day, it shouldn't be a game. If you want that prince that you want, that prince that, that knight in shining armor, then you need to make yourself that woman that deserves that. And so I feel like the manosphere needs to encourage each other at the same time to be that man that deserves the queen that they want. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like right now we're in an odds with each other, because everybody, women and men alike, are all about what they want.
Yeah, well, I could go into, and I'm technically a capitalist, but I'm not the elite benefit from chaos. Like I wouldn't say so much the 10% is like the management class, but the 1% benefits from the everybody else being in a state of chaos rather than because that you're easier to control and that takes different shapes in multiple groups. Like, and I'm somebody that believes in capitalism, but yeah, so that's why it's no clear real direction on that. That's a whole nother thing, because that's even beyond politics. To be honest, I mean, although politics takes a form in that, so there's a lot of reasons for that, and you see a lot of that gender war stuff manifest in that way. Because I'll say this: you never hear Republicans talk about marriage reform. You've never heard that spoken in politics. But even and look, I'm more in the middle. But I'm a registered Democrat, but I'm more in the middle. But my point is, there's certain things that nobody never asked that, but they never quite like, wow, they never say you should reform these marriage laws. And that's because regardless of party, women understand that they benefit from it. So it would take men to really push the issue. Well, here's the problem. Men have daughters. And a lot of men that have daughters, they tend to believe you can set your if you just game your sons up, they'll be fine. But your daughters need that protection. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong. But then you get these situations where, like I was saying before, like the woman that Fresh was dealing with, like the Caucasian woman, the white woman, it doesn't matter. It's not about whether something's right or wrong and they should or shouldn't. You live in a certain situation. If you want a certain outcome and you have a lot to lose, you have to engage in that in a certain way. And if you understand that a lot of these people are they weren't born here like that, they're not going to see that in that same way because they have other perspectives. It's like if I go somewhere else, I'm not going to be clued in. But it doesn't matter because so when people are saying she's wrong, she could be wrong. And she's wrong on the baby thing, I think. I think she's over jealous in that. But the point is not about her being wrong. It's about the fact that she's saying it and you know what environment you're in. This stuff has been around for about 3 years now. The Me Too stuff, whether people like it or not, you know it's there. So you can't say, oh, this just caught me off guard. I just didn't know. Literally, when Myron first started getting his money, Myron just started getting his money in like last 12 months. And so he knows what it is. But anyway.
No, I get you on that. And, the Brian Banks issue and Ezekiel Elliott issue and all kinds of shit. I've watched that too because I have sons and daughters. So I know what you're talking about when you're mentioning that stuff. So, yes, I may be a female and I may have the V word, but it's not that I don't understand that I was going to say understand men's issues. I don't understand all men's issues, obviously, because I'm not a man. It's not that I don't, what is the word that I want to say? Empathize with the men's issues because I do. But obviously I understand and empathize with the women's issues as well. And it's just unfortunate that we're butting at the heads instead of having our own spaces to do our things and then come together. Because I'm telling you, I listen to Kevin Samuels, and I love what he says, even if I don't agree with every single thing. But even if I don't, I'm like, well, wait, let me step back. Let me think about that. And let me talk to my son about that. And then, I just think there's a lot that we can learn from each other, but also at the same time, we've got to understand that we're never going to totally understand each other, but there's a way to respect each other and still do what we got to do. The red pill community, I don't hate the red pill community because I think there's good that has come out of it. There's a lot that has been learned, but at the end of the day, you can't demonize women and be like, all women are this and all women are these bimbos that are stupid and all they want is or if this is what I look at and what I feel like. that I see from a lot of, not all of it, but a lot of the red pill community is everybody is, all these women just want your money, and a 6'2" or above man, and you got to be super built and stuff like that. That's really not every woman.
No, yeah, and one thing about the red pill community, the red pill community is very vast, and I think, and here's the thing: people are not going to be experts in the red pill. People on the outside looking in are not going to understand all the intricacies of the red pill community. Mm-hmm. Just like when you look at a political party, people don't necessarily, if they're not in that party, understand, unless you're a political guy, understand the intricacies of the Democrats or the Republicans, because you can actually segment them a lot. You have people that they are liberal. The only time they get conservative, as long as they can kill unions, they're other than that, they're liberal. But other than business, they're liberal. You know, and so there's a lot. Same thing with Democrats. You can seg everything up, and even people in the middle. So and you can't expect people. And this is one of the reasons why I even did this in the first place, because when you look at some of the stuff they were doing, people are not going to say, oh, well, that's them. They're going to look at it from the context of they have their audience is mixed. So and the majority of their audience is not people of color. The majority are. So let's say something happens, and obviously something happens, it's not going to matter. It's going to matter. Oh, well, you know how they look at people's, internet footprint. And if they see, hey, they're watching them, oh, let's look at all these guys. What do you think YouTube's going to do? YouTube is going to protect their business. They don't make that much money off of this. They may keep Kevin other than that and keep Kevin and maybe like 5 other people and put them on YouTube's Noah's Ark. Everything else is done. All they'd have to do is raise their rate. Yeah, and so and that's what they'll do to protect their business. They got so the point is, if you're sloppy about what you do, because one thing I do know about Ivan Preach protects their business and their image. They don't jump. They really don't even like jumping in the red pill stuff too much. So because that stuff can be seen by certain audiences a certain way, and it doesn't matter. Just like if you start talking about Trump, it's just going to get a reaction. It is what it is. Right. It is you're positive or negative depending on who you are. They try to stay away from that because they're trying to do stuff at scale. I want Myron and them. If I say anything I want them to do, they need to understand. They need to have a very, very important understanding as to the scale that they're at now and how they influence their people. And they know their analytics. They know the age of their followers. They need to understand that they got some impressionable followers. So my followers are at the youngest 25, and they go from 25 to my age, which is 34, and 35 to 45. That's the majority of my audience. So majority of my audience ain't gonna do no stupid shit like that. But they may be dealing with late teens, like 25 to like 30. They have a younger audience, and you can kind of tell. Now they got older people that listen to them, but you can tell. So they need to understand what they do can affect other people. I'm not saying to change their business model. I'm not saying for them to give up any kind of money or potential growth, giving a fuck about somebody else. But they need to understand that people look at red pills like they are hated. That's why I wanted to talk to you since you came up when I saw you were white, is because they are hated on TikTok. Like when I say hated, they are just like how some people hate Trump. Like they hated Trump. They hate, and I don't hate. I don't even not like. I'm indifferent, even though I ain't vote for. I'm indifferent, but they hate them. They had like 7 accounts canceled. And if you go on TikTok and just type in Fresh and Fit, and you will see you will see women from a variety of different like racial groups. It's not like and like you would think they were talking about the R word, the way they talk, like just the anger. And I'm talking about before any of this happened.
I believe it.
Yeah, and I was like, I was actually start a red pill channel on TikTok. I said, fuck that, because of what was going on over there, like just for Fresh and Fit. And they still have stuff up there because people are uploading their stuff because they got those kind of supporters, but they don't have a channel. Like people are willingly advocating you have to eliminate their channel. Like on TikTok, they're saying they gotta go. A lot of people should be going to YouTube taking them out. And that was before any of this popped up, any of the allegations. I'm probably gonna look on TikTok tomorrow and just to see if some of this stuff's right. So my point is,
Fresh and Fit?
yeah, because my point is I don't want to see that happen to Red Pill in general. And it's not just Fresh and Fit, it's everybody's responsibility.
You're right.
To say what you say, stand on what you say, because there's things people gonna say that we don't like. But I think Kevin handles it in a really good way because a lot of people don't like Kevin.
He does.
But
He definitely does.
Yeah. So anyway, that is what it is. I'm gonna let y'all get final thoughts. I don't even know if CJ's still here. I appreciate him giving me the room to do this. This is actually a very unique conversation. CJ's fine. He'll come somewhere else. He'll come another day. You know how it is.
No, he said he's still here. He said he's still here.
Yeah, well, he can get final thoughts too. So I'll let you get final thoughts first, and then I'll finish it out and then chill out. Check out this fucking Spider-Man trailer. Yeah, so go ahead, CJ.
Well, to me, like just going back to what you said earlier about are they getting the pass on like the comments they made, I would say yeah, but also I would say that's expected. Like when it comes to like the diaspora wars, it's usually like ADOS versus everybody else. So, for example, if it's like Haitians versus Jamaicans, they can go back and forth and say whatever they want to say, but it's not going to be as big. Like if it was like ADOS versus Jamaicans,
because they want to act like we have this cultural control. But go ahead.
I'm not saying we have a control. I'm just saying like if we say something, people take it like
they take it more personally.
Yeah, they take it way more personally. So that's why they got away with it because it's like neither group is ADOS. So it's like as a whole, people don't care as much.
Okay. Yeah, Anel says according to Fresh Prince CEO, his name's Walter. That's his name. That's what I'm calling him from now on. That's his fuck some Fresh Prince CEO. That's Will Smith. He said Jessica X was running with info. With facts, so Walter has beef with her, but Myron is just man. Look, real talk. If Mike Rashid, if Jessica X was good enough for Mike Rashid to come on there, Jessica X is good enough for Walter to come on her stuff.
I ain't gonna lie, she looking kind of funny right now with the Nina interview.
Huh?
I said she look kind of funny right now with that Nina interview because Nina is clearly a clout chaser. So it's kind of
well. I mean, what the thing? Well, see, man, the thing about it is they're all clout chasers. Fresh and Fit got with it, like they're. You think Fresh and Fit got to where they are as fast as they are because they weren't clout chasing? Look, you can look in the DMs. Everything they do. Like, okay, people want to say they don't charge smaller YouTubers supposedly. I'm not even going to go there, but what did he want from Nina? You saw it in the DMs. He wanted that damn. I didn't know who that King Sid was. That dude has like 1.9 million subscribers. Like, and I'm not even going to get into some of the stuff that was said in the background, about other content. I'm not even going to do that. That'll come out. That'll be up to the folks to bring that out. That's bigger than me, but they're clout chasing. All of that stuff with Donovan. I mean, a lot of people are clout chasing. So when people always pin that on the women, I mean, Hassan Campbell beefing with Kwame, a lot of dudes clout chase by starting beefs. Like that's clout chase. So Satan the Sinner. Anyway, my point is, Myron wanted that interview, and I would make the argument that he gave a fuck about that more than her showing her titties. Like real talk,
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why he do. Yeah. So. Yeah, but I'm not absolving Nina. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. This is my mindset on this. People with the Brittany Renner situation. We know who Brittany Renner is. She wrote a book about who she was, so nobody can deny it. When you know who somebody is and you choose to ignore all of that and still deal with them, that's on you. I'm gonna because that person wasn't deceptive. Just like if you deal with a guy like Future, he's got like 9 kids with X amount of women. If you choose to deal with him, and we know women control having kids, and you choose to have a kid with him, okay. If you're trying to have a kid to get paid, fine. I'm not gonna hate on that, but if that doesn't go the way you want, don't get mad because you knew same thing with Fresh and And that other female, that goes both ways. She knew what she was getting involved with as far as what he is upside, and he knew that she was an OnlyFans chick. And you can talk to her for 10 minutes and realize she's stupid as fuck. And that's me saying that. You could like, ugh. So you still chose to do all that? Man, please. So going back to it with Nina clout chasing, yeah, she could be clout chasing, but she even said that. She even said, I do 2 interviews or 2 collabs and then I move on. Why? Because I want to build my network. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with networking. And guess what? She was candid. Now, are women gonna tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? No. And men don't usually either. But the reality is, it wasn't like when he gave all this information, it completely flipped the argument. It wasn't. It was like, okay, the first white chick could have showed the stories in the Mike Rashid. But what happened, the linear stuff of what happened is still the same. She really didn't unpin. Yeah, shout out to Rebecca. Appreciate it. She didn't unpin critical. She didn't remove critical information. She didn't. And Nina didn't leave out critical details. Everybody wants to say
no. She left
no. Here's the argument. Here's the argument. The argument that everybody has is she saw the super chats that Fresh and Fit was getting and she got mad. I don't believe that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because she's been on bigger channels than them. She's been on that King Sid dude has 1.9 subscribers. That's probably, and I'm not even mad at Myron for wanting to deal with her because of that. That's smart. That's smart. I'm not saying he's wrong for that. King Sid has 1,009,200 subscribers. Mike Rashid too. So that's going to accelerate your growth. It's going to accelerate your money. You already put the investment in the show. So the reality is, it ain't like this woman ain't seen more money than that before. So she's not.
My issue.
Go ahead.
My issue with her was she was saying that she was sexually harassed.
Yes, but okay, yes, you can have that issue. But if you're red pill, you know that's coming.
I'll give you that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, all these bitches lie.
I give you that. You're right.
I mean, we know. So it's just a matter to the degrees. So, and what did you see? Well, you saw what I said about that chick and that baby. I told her, when she talk about she gonna lose it, I say, no, you ain't gotta be on social media. Stop acting. They ain't harassing you in person, so you can cap that shit like straight up. I shut that down. But as far as Nita talking about, oh well, she was sexually harassed, it's kind of like saying, bitch, you show your titties, you fuck for a living. Are you really talking about that? Are you really talking about? But at the same time, and she should have used different words. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, she was right when she was talking about, well, this is not the great business and all that. I'm not saying she was right, but that was better. I think but women always do that. You know why? Because that's how they get attention. That's like, she's 40. She's trying to do that so people pay attention. That's why women cry rape and shit. And yes, she's wrong on that front. But overall, and I'm not taking her side, but see, the problem is their fans will sit there and say she's 100% wrong just because of that. Just because she embellished that. Because let's be clear here. Technically, the disagreement was a sexual disagreement. Now, is that sexual harassment? No, that is not. And I would say you're kind of full of shit for that. But what they wanted is Jessica X to be an attack dog. And they want to be like, Jessica X is either for us or against us. And Jessica X has not demonstrated. She didn't do that with Mike Rashid. She gave pushback questions a little bit, but not really. That's not generally what Jessica does. Not one. She does it more subtle, and she lets people feel like they hurt. That's why people will come on the show. And if you look at O'Shea or anybody that has people to come on shows, these people are not going to come on shows if they do not feel like they can be heard. Now, that doesn't mean they run rush shot over your shit and just start lying. But Jessica doesn't do that. So, if anything, and I'm calling it right now, Walter better watch himself, because you don't want to be seen as bullying a female in retaliation. You don't want to be seen as that, especially with your goofy ass. Yeah, I mean, Seriously. So they say, and because this is all that's going to show is they're the assholes everybody thought they were, because they already got shit that people might let out from what they do to content creators behind the scenes, which nobody really knows about. So Fresh better watch itself, thinking that like they think just because you got a couple of big YouTubers that's gonna fuck with you, that don't mean nothing, because that shit can be broken. Don't think that you safe from a business perspective. You ain't. It just takes the right person. Remember, Hannibal Buress started the domino effect that put Bill Cosby in jail. So don't believe that. They nobody can't get got. As far I'm talking business wise. I mean, they had somebody show up in a fucking door. You would think they'd be smarter than that. But as far as the Nina thing, like 80% of the stuff that she was saying was I think candid. It was just that part where she was adding that. But at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, you know, I find it funny they tell nobody to do OnlyFans shit, but they're showing X-rated shit on Patreon. That's funny to me, but whatever. As far as I mean, she said no, she didn't want to do it. I mean, Jessica's main thing was Jessica was talking about all they had to do was pay her, and they could have paid her. Now, if they didn't have to, and they didn't. But that's
I'm like, pay her for what? She wanted the money. They didn't do the show. So what are you paying her for?
What do you say? Pay her for what?
Yeah, because she wanted $2,500. They was like, hell no. So they just didn't do the show. So
yeah, well, I mean, that wasn't an unreasonable ask. The problem is they want to say that they get people's videos. Fuck their video. Fuck those videos. That's not why she's dealing with them. And then so their argument is, well, what value do we get? We have this fucking platform. Well, motherfucker, it's called relationships. And okay, so I'm gonna point something out to you. Right. So you said hell no, right?
Yeah.
That's what they said. Now, and you agree that they said, what are we gonna pay you for if you're not gonna do the sexual component, right? You remember when they said that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have paid it either.
Okay. So they turned around and then he asked on the back end, which I would argue, even if it wasn't his prime target, should have been to try to deal with Sid, which is that 1.92 million person, right? Because she had just got on that thing, on his show. I don't know why he believed that her opinion of them would matter to get him on there, but they believed that, right? That's why they threw the offer out. That is worth $2,500 when you know you getting that back. It's called relationships. And that is something that I think they don't like. Myron understands it, but Myron doesn't understand it from a long term. Myron comes off as like a user. He's a dude that and I'm gonna just say this. This is why black dudes don't like working with white dudes. Because they have a intrinsic power position because of this country. It is what the fuck it is. And it's not just them. This is true for Jewish people. This is not, as far as power in the country, any group that is on point, right? So this is true with Indians from India over here. Latins too that are connected, right? If you are a contractor when you're dealing with them, right? And if you have something they want, once they get that thing from you or that proprietary knowledge, it's a high likelihood they will discard you, right? This is not always the case, but this is more times than not. And you always have to have that awareness. That's the type of person Myron is. And if you don't believe me, if you look at Anthony Spade said that, you saw what he did with Kevin Samuels, and that's what you heard. That's not what happened behind the scenes, which was worse. And I do believe Nina wasn't lying about that, by the way, which I think is another reason they were pissed at Jessica. Because basically Jessica gave Nina a platform to expose some stuff or allude to some stuff that's not even out yet. Remember, O'Shea said there were certain things that disturbed it that nobody knows about. I promise you that's on the content creator end that nobody knows about. I don't know about it either. But I know I've been in this game long enough to know, kind of get an idea what that is. People love to talk about you don't have all the facts. Let me be very clear here. And I'm going to say this. You all may take this personally. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. Whenever I hear a 980's person, I'm African American. Black niggas here, we lie to each other every day. That's our language. So it's called running game. So we already know where the bullshit is. We're born in the bullshit between the women, the men, and the men, and the men, and the women, and the women. And the parents and the older people and the younger people. The older people be running game on us, but that's why you get the old ass nigga thing. When 980's people talk about you ain't got all the information, that's code for scamming. That's code for I need to sit you down so I can tell you some bullshit and spin doctor your ass until I just get tired of listening. So I start buying into what you say. That's what that shit means. Because if you look at the information they brought, that shit didn't change not a single thing. They did not bring a single receipt that overrides anything that's already been said. The gun shit, that's a bad look. It doesn't matter if it's not true. It still looks bad. It goes against their social IQ. Going back to the Nina thing. They and you notice they didn't stick with the pregnant chick. They like spared through that. But the Nina thing, and this is why I want to home into my point on that. So you agree that you wouldn't have paid. You agree that you with them, they wouldn't have paid. The reality is it was worth $2,500 for them to pay her just to get the Sid. And if you're the type of person where you understand relationships, and Myron and them are at the level where those relationships are worth a lot of money, you don't know who Nina knows. Nina has collabed with a lot of people. I'm not saying you need her. Now, they believe that she can help with Sid, right? But I'm not saying you need her for everybody. But why put people in the negative corner? And that is what she was trying to communicate with them. Just like how Kevin was trying to communicate with them OnlyFans bitches about needing to invest in other things and not act like bitches. Because they think they making some money on some fucking OnlyFans. Well, look at what's going on with OnlyFans now, 90 days. But they come up looking snotty as hell. You think motherfuckers gonna help them? You think they gonna help them for free? No, they gonna charge their ass. Because that's how they act. It's a relationship thing. And again, look, I'm just a nigga. I'm not making $100,000 on YouTube. What the fuck do I know? But Kevin said that. What does O'Shea say all the fucking time? Relationships. O'Shea's strength is not his subscriber count, although it's high. It's his relationships. And even when O'Shea beefs with a lot of people, O'Shea usually can make that up for the most part with a lot of people. And O'Shea can be a petty ass nigga. O'Shea used to not like me once upon a time. When he was more on the conservative, I mean, he's still conservative, but he was more on that front. Long time. He was like at 30,000 subscribers. He may not even remember that. So, even what he did with, he could have bought the Black Manosphere. What did he say? He can't stand Angry Man, but he respected that. Myron doesn't understand that. I don't know if I assume that Myron is Muslim because he's from the Sudan. Whatever, maybe I'm stereotyping, but you would think Myron understand that more than even African Americans would, because there's a sense of code that Islam gives that, I'm not gonna act like Christianity doesn't, but it's not really focused on, not like how Islam is. So you would assume that Myron have a more appreciation for that than he does, and maybe he does, just not for the infidels. That may be what it is. Hey, and I'm not saying that. I mean, that's not derogatory. I mean, we're the ones that are infidels. Just like how Jewish people, they don't steal from each other. That don't mean they not gonna fuck you up. That's why they fucked up Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff stole from other Jews. You don't do that. What was that chick? Debbie Wasserman Schultz in Florida. She sided with a woman over a secular Jew. Bernie Sanders. You don't do that. You ain't heard from her since then. You don't do that. So maybe he does understand that it's just for non-folks he don't give a fuck about. That's just him getting his money. But either way, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but do you understand where I'm coming from? Would it really have made a big deal to throw $2,500 at her and make an exception to potentially? Now here's the thing. You could have had a conversation saying, okay, I want to have a verbal conversation with you. And really gauge that she have the capability of really doing something with Sid. Saying, I will do this with you, but this is what I want to. And see if she really got the goods. Because I don't know if Nina does personally. But he thought that she did.
Yeah, he definitely should have like had more conversations and vetted her just to know like how close she was to the dude, just to see if it was worth it or not. That definitely would have been more helpful.
Because she was willing to do it. The thing is, Nina was willing to do it. She wanted a fee, and she was very upfront with that. That's it. You can see the text. It wasn't like she was being a bitch about it. Now, yeah, and here's the thing, and this is the thing why this is important. And here, I'm not here to tell nobody to not buy Myron shit. If you like Myron shit and you think it's of value, nigga, go buy it. I'm not here to tell you to not buy his shit. I'm not here to tell you not to donate to them. If there's value you get from them, go deal with it. I'm not even going to tell you other people that I would recommend. I'm not even going to do that because that's not what this is about. I don't have anything personal with Myron. I really don't. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. He'll probably say, who is that? 5,000? He's a joke. Whatever. He don't know me, and that's fine. But what I would say is if you're going to sit here and say, and this is what they need to, because here's the thing, they have the infrastructure. They can always get better on the job, right? I mean, I'm like, dude, you're literally pissing women off. You're putting women in the enemy box when you should be putting them in the asset box. Now, you can deal with them the way you want to deal with them, but like the way you're engaging with these women is actually pissing them off. That is not the look of somebody that knows how to deal with women. It's not. Like, these are unforced error. The Nina situation was an unforced error. That white chick situation was an unforced error. That chick with the chick he got pregnant was an unforced error. Personally, I wouldn't have fucked her at all. Number one, she's a single mother. So you telling these guys not to fuck single mother, and she ain't that attractive. I don't know. Maybe I ain't seen it. Maybe she got an ass. Maybe because I did see the ass shots. I don't know. Maybe I ain't really looked at her. But I know after hearing her talk, I've said no to better looking over that shit. And I'm short, But he's putting women, and then the Auburn Preach situation, enemy box. You're putting people in enemy boxes for no reason. And you're doing it over and over and over and over. And it's like, goddamn. And we don't even know same thing with Jessica. Oh, I'm beefing with her. Why? Why don't you build your own? Why don't you got 44,000 subs, build your own shit and let the show be the show, and then deal with it? Why don't you just go on her show and say her piece? Well, I'm not going to, you're not providing a platform. You ain't that nigga. Your platform may be something, but it ain't like everywhere you go, you just going to blow shit up completely off the chains. You could just say what you say. She'll have you up. If you got a problem, say this is where they're wrong. Well, I'm not going to give her the validation. Okay, whatever. And then that'll be another person making a video about you where somebody could come up on there. Y'all not thinking. Y'all think y'all got this fucking lightning bolt. Remember, y'all may have power in YouTube, but everything ain't YouTube. Like, y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, they go fuck with somebody that got money, and they go do what they asked what Anthony the Dream did with Donovan and run ads on your ass, playing your ass. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's enough information out there. They ain't, like, if somebody really go, like, Spencer Corellia went through their videos, Fresh's video, and found that video of him looking goofy as fuck, telling that crazy ass story. And you see what that white, Rebecca said, white woman, yeah, Rebecca said, she said it's entertainment. You don't want to be seen as a joke. And she didn't say that, but some people will see you that way. You may not care because the joke's be on them because you're making money. But remember, I've read The Game. Have you read that book with Neil Strauss?
No.
I'm looking at that book right now. I'm actually looking at it. I can tell you right now, I haven't really read it in a long time. That book, they would be very wise to read that damn book. You know what? I would love for Fresh and Fit to interview him. I think they could. They would be very wise to read that book, because if you read that book of Neil Strauss, it tells the story of those motherfuckers got a lot bigger than what Fresh and Fit is right now. Not saying they can't get there, but they got a lot bigger offline. And that was in an age where money was. I remember the Bush years. Money was flowing before like 2006 or 7. Money was flowing. I remember those were some good years. If you ignore the war, those were good years. And you talk to black people that really came up in those years, or mortgage brokers and shit, they'll tell you those are some good years. I even heard that in different industries, those were good years. IBM, those were good years. But yeah, that was the golden age of the dating game. Like, of that new age of, like, and that was the era. And I'm gonna tell you, that shit came crashing the fuck down. Neil Strauss kind of got out of it before that happened, but he saw it falling, and he talked about what happened when it did. And these women are a lot more smarter, and they're a lot more ruthless pre-Me Too, and they are a lot more sexed up and sexually experienced. The guys you are dealing with are clearly not the most socially aware. I'm just going to say it like that. And you are going up against women that are fucking. Okay? And you heard what Rebecca said. And they are fucking. They are way more sexually experienced. And that is across the board. That is cross-racial. And so if you ain't arming these guys the right way and you doing dumb shit, because they can pay attention to what you say, but they also gonna pay to what you do. And if y'all come out of this, they're gonna be like, oh, well, they came out of it, maybe I can too. Y'all don't have the resources of them.
I feel you on that.
Well, here's the thing, and I invited the Duke to come up, but you know, the Duke, see, this is what people like the Duke are looking for. They're looking for people. See, they say claims, nigga. The receipt. So, CJ, real quick, what other than the sexual harassment? We agree with that. Other than that, what claims is she capping on, in your opinion? So you're a fan of Fresh and Fit, but you unsubscribe from O'Shea because they're too cliche. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not really sure on anything else. I'm not gonna like I was saying earlier. With all the
Duke said she's lying about everything.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna lie. It definitely does seem like she's extra. But my take was always just like, with all the noise, I thought that people were saying they was doing like some like illegal, like.
Well, nobody was saying it. Nobody has actually said that.
I just thought that's where it was headed. That's all. But outside of that, it's just like they just making silly choices dealing with people they shouldn't be dealing with in the first place.
Yeah, but the problem, yeah, absolutely. But see, the thing, yeah, because everybody's lying. That's what they want to believe. Everybody's lying. And the Duke, to be fair, the Duke did acknowledge certain things, but the text messages that Myron released validates like 75% of what she said per his text messages, per his shit. This is what you all are doing. What you all are doing is putting her on trial, and then a defense attorney, you're trying to cross-examine her and basically destroy her character. But she was candid about what her character is. But that's not what the argument is. The point is this, that here's the thing, and this is not illegal, nothing. I told you, nothing he said was predatory. But this speaks to certain social awareness shit. The objective, basically, he said in the way they explained it, they wanted her to basically be topless on their Patreon so they could make money. Now their argument is Nina was getting greedy. They want to make the argument that Nina was only asking for a $25 fee because she really want access to that money that they got from the super chats. I've already told you that's bullshit because she would have had to see bigger super chats than what Fresh and Fit gives. Why? Because she's been on bigger channels. That's either factual or not factual. I already proved that with Sid. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the argument, and then number two, you have to then show that she don't typically either get 2,500 or ask for 2,500. Maybe she doesn't get it, but you got to say that's not her fee, and she just pulling that out her ass. I'm not saying, and shout out to CJ. I'm not saying that Myron and them have to do it. Give them the money. But what I'm saying is you all are saying shit is factually wrong. Factually incorrect. When that's not true. I didn't say that they're not ranked number one weekly. What I said is you're acting like it's money she's never seen before. That's what you're saying. And so at the end of the day, and here's another thing y'all got to understand too. Y'all want to act like see, this is the thing that y'all not gonna do. Y'all motherfuckers think that y'all can just bully. You don't want to be the bullies. That's what you don't want to be. Because what y'all don't want to do is become a situation where y'all are creating so much hatred and anger against you all that people just start wanting to take y'all off the platform just cuz. That's the mistake Donald Trump made. Where he created so much anger. Okay, dude, you're talking about she begged for the interview, bro. Number one, she didn't quote unquote beg for the interview. But even still, they didn't have to give her the interview. They didn't have to give her the interview. They told her what it was. I'm not saying they're wrong for doing that. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You're saying she begged for the interview. So what does that change? What does that change? That doesn't change anything. So you're just throwing shit at me like it's supposed to stick because you emotionally want me to take their side. That's some cult shit. Dude, this is one thing you need to understand about me. I not only watched, but I've studied cults. I've studied Scientology as far as a cult. So I understand how that shit works. Y'all may not understand it. I understand it. So, dude, I get that you need me to 110% agree with Myron. That is an emotional need you have. I understand that. But at the end of the day, what you need to understand is y'all going around, I don't give a fuck what they say. Y'all going around like advocating for them as hard as y'all do. That is not really going to help y'all low key. You're not helping them by doing that because you're not really converting people. Okay, Kareem, shit. Y'all want to talk about so where's my assessment wrong? Since y'all want to come up here and say I'm wrong. Brick, come up. Let's see where I'm wrong. I mean, you're a woman. So, I mean, it ain't like you're going to be, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say you're neutral. Yeah, what's up, Kareem?
Hi, Edward. Good night. I know it's late. Okay, so I'm not really here to argue with you. I'm just going to tell you how I see it, right? I'm neither a Fresh and Fit fan, Abba Preach fan. I'm a casual person. I listen sometimes to their content, both of them.
Yeah, it's
Um,
very rare you're gonna have a quote unquote stan that's a woman.
right.
So that, or
So,
like as far as them, so you're good. But go ahead.
so let me tell you my point of view on the Nina girl. I saw her interview on Jessica X show. I seen her another interview that she did, and I saw her proof, her text messages, and I saw Myron's text messages, and he explained the story. Now, I also saw that she is kind of on she's preaches a fan. She went on a date with him, so it's very convoluted. There are people
Yeah,
in this
all of
country
them are.
that has different allegiance, right? So
Yeah,
her story. This is why I said that her story is thing. One, she said that she would do it for 2,500. Two, she said that they made all the super chats but want to give me any of the super chats. Three, oh, he told me he was an FBI agent and I wanted to go on the show so maybe he could help me get my son custody. Those three things she said. She told you that she really wanted to be on the show. Now,
those three things. Hold on, those three things she said in text messages, or those three things she said on Jessica X's interview.
said them in text messages, and then she also said it on Jessica X's interview. She said that she wanted to go on the show because she lost her son, and she's trying to find her son, and she wanted to speak to him because he used to work for the FBI. Then she said she said FBI, then she changed it to law enforcement. She switch up with how she classify what type of agency he worked for. Up to now, we don't know if he worked for the FBI because he never claimed FBI. He said law enforcement. That's one. Two, the thing about, oh, why would you ask a random stranger about your son case? Like, that makes no sense to me.
You know what question? I got a question for you, and this will sound like I'm kind of dodging the whole issue, but have you observed Myron hanging out with any female that ain't a raggedy bitch? Like on YouTube or anybody they've engaged with that you wouldn't classify as a raggedy bitch? Because everybody I've seen, everybody wants to say, look at all these people. These people are horrible. Well, I'm like, God damn. And this is a dude that's Muslim.
I give you that.
I mean, for real.
He likes slow claps bitches. He do. No.
I mean, this is a Muslim, and I'm not. And it sounds like I just thought about that.
Let me explain this. This is, you brought up the ADOS thing, and I mentioned it on Another Planet. A lot of people are making this an ADOS.
No, that's not subjective. All these women are raggedy bitches.
They are. But let me tell you something about Myron. He was born in this country and raised in this country. Even though he is Muslim and he has the cultural thing, if you're influenced by you could tell that's why he's so kind of geeky. He's influenced by the culture as well. Not only is his own internal
every bitch I have observed this man is dealt with online and what all this stuff is a raggedy bitch. That is a good record. That is a strong record.
We agree, but what I'm trying to say to you is, Nina was a clout chasing girl.
Here come the claps. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. She said that on she alluded to that with the networking thing. Yeah, I'm not saying that Nina is a saint. Like, you hear me use it. Hold on, Kareem. You know I don't use the term bitch like real. There's a reason why I'm calling these women that. And I don't always say that when I'm referring to females. It's because I get it. And I haven't been like 100% against Myron, but I don't look at these things as for or against. I'm kind of breaking them down in a different way. So here's the argument. The argument is because Myron said that he's disappointed in Jessica. Walter said that he's beefing with Jessica, supposedly. Now, I didn't hear that, but that's what's it called? Yeah, but that's what he said. So my thing is, if it's good enough for Mike Rashid, who they said they're cool with, to go on Jessica and give his side of the story when, he was going against the red pill, then it's good enough for Walter to take his ass over there and have a conversation. Hell, they might win they might win a couple of fans. Because Jessica can pull folks.
My thing with the Jessica X story and Mr. Fantastic, more than Jessica, was railing in on them. He was going in on them. He was
because they're. Are you talking about Fresh and Fit, or are you talking about the audience?
No, Fresh and Fit. and the audience and his people. He was really attacking them. So my thing,
No,
the
he was
whole
being
goal,
Mr. Fantastic. He wasn't doing
I
more
like
than
Mr.
he
Fantastic.
already doesn't
Yeah,
do.
I like him. So I don't mind
Well,
him.
well,
But
you know, that's who he is. They just couldn't handle it.
my point is, the people was pushing back and telling them, listen, it's more to the story. That's all people were saying. His followers actually were saying there was more to the story, and people just wanted to go with those low class girls' side of the story, and then they want to hear his side of the story, their side of the story rather, because it's more than her story. Because listen, the white girl with the baby situation, that thing really pissed me off. Because if your child is in danger, why the hell are you engaging on the internet with people?
Okay, so let me say this, and this is why, and I'm glad you brought that up. So let's say, because this is the same thing with Bill Cosby, right? Most of them bitches were lying out their ass, in my opinion. But it gets to a situation, and the biggest issue was the gaps of time, because it's like statute of limitations, there's a whole bunch of bullshit. But the reality is, if all you dealing with is raggedy bitches, to the point where that's who you getting impregnated, so supposedly, you're gonna deal with raggedy bitch shit. So what's the point of game if you just gonna default to raggedy bitches? That's called low hanging fruit.
My thing with you is, Edward, this is why I say your assessment is wrong. You know these dudes are freaking entertainment goofballs. Why are we taking their stand seriously? Their teaching is not
No, I don't. But you got people down there that's taking it like a religion. Because let's be clear here, you may be looking at this from a neutral perspective. Do you think his audience is? Do you think like Duke and them are looking at it from a neutral perspective?
Okay, maybe the young stupid guys will learn. They're gonna learn their lesson. Maybe they're not taking it like as thing, but their audience is more than dumb stupid guys. They have more of an international audience too. It's not only people in America.
Oh well, I didn't know. The dumb stupid guys are international. They're all of them. It's the international and domestic.
That's what I'm trying to say. But listen, the girls that they mess with are not, like I said, okay, and not to say this to sexual politics, but they're trashing females.
I said that.
They used to be dealt with like that. So why do you expect to treat them like princesses when they're not princesses? You want them to treat them like
I didn't. When did I call them raggedy? I've been calling them bitch all day. I've been calling them bitch. I said white bitch. I said the white bitch, the old bitch, the dumb bitch. Now you know I don't use the term bitch that flat. I've been doing that on purpose.
So my point is, why are you not in solidarity with them?
No, because that's the point. The argument is y'all want to this, and see, this is where, like, this is why, and I'm glad you said that, because this is where that believe all women bullshit comes from. You can't say believe all women is bullshit, but we gonna say because they raggedy bitches and everything that comes out their mouth is a motherfucking lie. Cause no, I want you to understand this, because what let's get away from Myron and them. The reason why this is why Me Too became powerful in the first place, is because the way the white guys did it, because black men ain't never had this ability, right? This is white folk shit, right? And we just take the hit because we always get the hit. That's how they would do it. That's why you think they're always about slut shaming and this shaming and blaming the victim. Why do you think? I'm not saying they're predatorily victim, because in the argument, what people will say is, this bitch is a whore. You can't believe nothing she says. And then the door gets slammed on them and they get shut down. And this is the exact way that their audience was going up there in Jessica X in the comment section. They're whores. End of. It doesn't matter that they're all whores. Don't listen. Donald Trump did that shit. It doesn't matter. I grab them in the pussy. They're all whores. The end. It's like, okay, and hold on. And it's like, it doesn't matter what evidence that they present for their point of view. Because I said straight up, nothing Myron has done is I would characterize as predatory. I'd say he's doing fuckboy shit, but that's it. That's between him and his business if he wants to risk it. I don't care. I just care about the whole red pill taking a hit because of what they do. But that's either here nor there. My point is that Me Too and all that shit emerged because we're not saying, dude, okay, this is what right, you're right, here. They're wrong here, but you fucked up here, and here. O'Shea said the same thing. You got these niggas that do it's the same thing with Cynthia G. where they just take it. Man, you got them. A bitch called in to Cynthia G. Nyla Says, talking about they fucked the 17-year-old boy when she was like 21, and they acting like that's not a big deal on the same video that they supposedly want to call Polite a predator. And I'm not saying I disagree with that, but the point is they want to paint all black men like that.
Okay.
So the problem is what I'm against is these emotional shit. So what I'm saying is I can point out where she's bullshitting and point out where she's telling the truth. What Duke and other people want me to do is say she's a whore. Everything she says is a lie.
No, but what I'm saying to you is her allegations are saying that he's a sleazeball. So okay, he's a sleazeball. Is that illegal to be a sleazeball?
But I said early on in this video, I made it clear. Nothing that I don't think Myron is anything that is I do not think Myron is a predator. He is not a predator. There's nothing he's done. I said at worst, he's a fuck boy. That's what I said. And I said that is what it is.
You is a trash ass lady that can't even keep her son. Is gonna come and attack another person for being a trash ass. That's the point. That's why
she attacked him for two things. She said the nigga ain't got no game, which his whole business is based on game. So she thought she was attacking him with that. She doesn't understand it. From a marketer standpoint, bravo. So it doesn't matter because that's not what they're buying. That's number one. Number two is she said they don't have great business practices, which that's their opinion. That's the main thing she said. Now, the other stuff, which ain't nobody proved that's not true, because you can see how he interacted. You can see how he interacted with the first chick. You can see how he interacted with the second chick. Myron works hard. I'm not debating that. They built their platform. I'm not debating all of that. But people have built a lot of things, and then Johnny Manziel got to the NFL and flamed out. But that's neither here. That's neither here nor there. But you're making it seem like I'm saying that everything she's saying is right. I'm pointing out what this stuff has to the overall story, and with all of it. And it's almost like, okay, well, emotionally, y'all feel like I'm taking her side, so you just gonna disagree on that. I'm not really taking her side.
Okay, well, fine. You're not taking her side, but my point is, right? If you are a sleazeball, you're engaging with a sleazeball. None of his fans thought they were wonderful guys and the friggin' priest. None of his fans thought he was a priest. So was she?
Go ahead.
No, none of his fans. Ask any
you
of
hear
his
dudes
fans.
out here. Go look at you hear dudes out here talking about we need the information like it's the fucking Bible. But go ahead.
Yeah, but people are hyperbolic. They're hyperbolic. They're young and they're hyperbolic. But none of his fans thought he was like a priest. It's not like a priest who had to be.
Well, they're not. They don't care. They're not, just like everybody knows. Like Donald Trump is not a priest, but they don't care. That's not why they deal with them. But again, like I hear what you're saying. Like and that's kind of like the catch-20. Like that's the catch-22, isn't it? Isn't it? It's like, because even still, I didn't even notice that like that until, because I don't watch their channel like that. When they talk about the quality of the women degraded, again, none of that matters, because at the end of the day, most of Myron's audience are textbook stands. It really doesn't matter what Myron does. They will always find a way to be on his side for anything. I'm not even arguing that. Now, we can play this game like, oh, well, all these women are whores. Well, that's why I brought up every bitch that she's dealing with, right? You know why? Because I'm going to argue, if you got game, that shouldn't be reflective of the only women you're dealing with. Every woman's an OnlyFans bitch. Like and you're in Miami too. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Because no matter what I say, it doesn't matter. And so what I'm saying is, if that gets weaponized where they start bullying other people, like taking batter, like they start like trying to bully Jessica. Now, Myron said he's disappointed. I don't think he's going to do that. But if they start doing that, because understand something, y'all don't know what these motherfuckers are saying behind the scenes. Y'all don't. Because I can tell you right now, I've had enough private conversations with O'Shea. O'Shea don't turn a dime on motherfuckers like that. Not like that. Publicly. Unless somebody's doing some shit. So, and then I'll also say something, the most important, I'm going to say this, I'm going to let you talk. The most important thing that Nina said, I don't give a fuck about nothing else she said, is what she said about Myron and Kevin. I think that speaks more to who he is, because that's man on a man when he was trying to help him more than anybody. And I'm not talking about what he said in the front screen. I believe what she said in the background. Now,
Okay, well,
motherfuckers, but
okay,
whatever.
okay. Like my point is with that, that's none of our business. Like if they beefing as personally, that's a personal issue. What? That's not nothing for us to be involved in. If him and Kevin is beefing, let him and Kevin beef. They don't have it on Front Street. It's other people trying to say, oh, the girl is
Okay,
trying to.
but you should. That's what happens when you deal with raggedy bitches, though. That's part of a raggedy bitch. Is they're gonna say anything. I said that about these females with the baby thing that you said you disagree with, which I'm on. We're on the same page. All of these women, I listened to that bitch talk on the lead attorney. It was like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
They
I
coming
don't
after
like
the
these
lead attorney
bitches.
too. They coming after the lead attorney too because they was like, "Oh, you're a lawyer. How you a lawyer? You don't
Oh,
present
well,
no
that's a
facts."
losing. Well, that's a losing battle because the lead attorney is understand something. Just because these motherfuckers, let's keep this all in 100. Do not believe because you got subscribers and you got some loyal fans that you could willy nilly. Let's
No,
be clear here,
I
and
don't
I
like
want
the
to
lead
say this.
attorney.
I want to be very clear. If they create a situation where everybody in the manosphere can't stand your ass, you're not gonna survive that. Like you're not. Like you're not. Like if you actually like create a situation where you start beating up like certain people that are well liked,
But
you're not
you
gonna
are they're
survive
not
that.
manosphere, right? And wasn't he they excommunicated out of the manosphere? They're not
No, they're
manosphere.
still in the white manosphere. O'Shea ain't got no
So,
say in that. That's where most of their audience come. Their audience is not in black manosphere anyway.
so
Their
then you
audience
don't
is
have an
white
issue.
manosphere. But at the same time, look at shout out to Donovan. But look at what's going on with Donovan. Like let's be clear here. Don't believe that. And you already got Jason Black on their ass too. Understand, you're not the only like
Jason sent your
stands.
haters.
You ain't the
Jason
only
sent your
stands
haters.
out here. Trust me,
Jason
there's
Black is
other
good.
audiences that are pretty got the size of them. This nutty too. Y'all not the only like crazy audience is in this game. You got
The
Tariq's
Beehive
folks.
versus Navies and okay, let's not do this. My
Ain't no
point is
what I'm saying. No. But, hold on. Jason Black already has a video that has like 70,000 views on Fresh and Fit, and he's
I
trying to
know.
tie it to Kevin. So he put that out a couple days ago.
I
I'm
know.
not saying
So
nothing. Hold on. I'm not saying that already ain't out there. And he got Myron in front of white boys, talking about white men are the most discriminated against. I mean, Jason is looking to take a lot of us out. So
and
I mean,
Tariq
that's out there. I'm
thing.
not making stuff up that's
And the
not already
Thomas
out
Sowell
there.
thing. And the Thomas Sowell thing, which I don't understand why
Well,
Jason
that's
is doing that.
bullshit. That's
I know.
bullshit.
Why
But
is he
whatever.
doing that? He's an economist. Even if you don't like him, he's still a published
But
economist.
Jason don't care. That's the thing. You're dealing like this is more. This stuff is like politics, but with money. So it's interesting. You're dealing with people that do not care. Like Jason does not give a fuck. Like Jason actually thinks Byron and him are scum of the earth. And he's got and you're dealing with a dude that's demonstrated he can raise $750,000 out of his audience.
I'm sure. And he does
No. He's done it. He did it with his documentaries. I mean, Tariq just raised $1 million. So what I'm saying, I'm not making threats.
Making it a and he's also the bottom line with Jason Black too, with the Myron and Fit. He's making it a ADOS versus non ADOS issue too. That's underlining under why he don't like them.
Let's be clear here. All of the channels that you named, the Duke, they sided with Fresh and Fit for one purpose and one purpose only. They sided because of money. And everybody don't move on that, but everybody don't necessarily move on money like that. So it is what it is. I've seen this before, and they don't understand it because they're dumb. I'm talking about the audience. Y'all don't understand how powerful some of these dating coaches were back in the day. Y'all don't know. And y'all don't know that them motherfuckers got crashed. Y'all go look up Eben Pagan. Eben Pagan was named David D'Angelo. These are people that made millions of dollars. Yo, what's that dude's name? Damn, I forget his name. He's like worth like over like $25 million right now. He's the dude. Did you see his he was one of the original, like they call him like big business gurus. I forget his name. He's like Hispanic. You talk about the knowledge. He used to run matchmaking websites back in the day. Y'all think y'all ain't seen what could happen. But whatever. This is not about that. But what I am saying is that, you know, again, we can because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. Every bitch that I've seen them deal, every bitch that I've seen come across that show for the most part is like borderline raggedy if they ain't raggedy. Like, don't get me started on a female with her tongue out, the black chick. When like these are all raggedy bitches. So if they're all raggedy bitches, and it's like, okay, well, we're not gonna believe them. Understand? Just because, like, shit, all them bitches that fuck with Bill Cosby were raggedy bitches. Just because you a raggedy bitch don't mean that shit can't have weight. It's just the right person needing to pick it up. And the reason why I'm like really on this, I'm on this not but say that somebody's wrong. I'm on this because the mentality here, I'm not talking about with you, but the mentality I'm seeing in the chat is of what have I been saying this whole time? I've been saying do not be sloppy. Because the shit that you do, you may not give a fuck, but it don't just affect you.
I understand what you're saying.
And just because you still making money, because I ain't getting no money like this, don't mean there's people that are really, I'm not saying they're not trying to help dudes, but there are people that are really trying to push stuff in a certain type of way and get a certain awareness up. They will do some shit. They will step into a nuclear bomb and basically wipe this whole shit out like a Thanos snap. And their audience is too fucking stupid to understand that because they're dumb. And I'm going to say it just like that. Shout out to Theo. I know there's some smart people too, because Theo had a really good understanding as to why he's donated to them. And I understand that. I see the value what he's talking about. But a lot of y'all are slow. And y'all will be the same motherfuckers that will go out there and do some dumb shit to a bitch. And then we all got to pay for your dumb ass. And now y'all are international. So y'all could do some shit in the UK and somehow that shit comes to us by proxy of them. And I'm not even talking about the black people. I'm talking about the white people. That's some dangerous shit. Go ahead. My bad.
I understand your caution and your not caution. I understand what you're saying about how what they do reflects bad. It could be reflects bad on the black manosphere, especially because they already have.
Well, I mean the manosphere in general, and this is the funny thing. You got people like it's literally 3 o'clock in the morning. It may be 12 o'clock in the West Coast. I have 4,500 subscribers. Mm-hmm. I'm a nobody. So why the fuck are you up in the like? I know some of y'all know me and you know me. I get that, but why the fuck are you? If you all don't like what the fuck I'm saying, it's YouTube. It's a free speech. I have a right to say it.
Right.
You niggas are out here having periods over what random nigga. I ain't got no impact. Ain't nobody outside of my subscribers are really gonna see this. Why are you having a period? What you need to worry, like I'm not even gonna point you at another direction because I didn't know. I'm glad you came up. I didn't know they were attacking the lead attorney. Y'all gonna have y'all are so angry and upset. I know I'm talking about your Lord and Savior. I know I'm talking about your Allah. But do not put a what they call it, a fatwa on me. Don't do it. And to be fair to Duke, I understand. I've heard Duke. I get it. You're not one of these dumbasses. You may be biased, but I won't put you in that category because you actually sat up there and really, So but outside of that, y'all, shut the fuck up. You're talking about my God. You're talking about my master. Stop. Shut up. You realize I could block y'all asses and just be done with it? And what's funny is these will be the same people talking, but we're not bullies. We're not bullies. Fans, you can say what the fuck you want to say, and I'll give Duke credit, but you can say what the fuck you want to say. Fantastic. And you know how I feel about that Cam Up shit, but fantastic Cam Up. You saw who you was. Y'all could have came up there. But tell me why a white woman and black woman came up to give their opinion. But the rest of you bitches, you niggas stay in the fucking chat. Like hoes.
You're so funny.
Y'all worse than the chicks. You think hold on. You think I like my channel is about the gynocracy, but you think I'm not gonna call you bitch ass niggas out? Like seriously, all y'all, shut the fuck up. Jeez, nigga, you in the black manosphere now. We tell the truth even when it hurts. And look, what you call it? Kareem made the case. Look, I don't really care. Like I said, I'm indifferent. I've been up on this bitch saying I don't care about Myron's money. If y'all want to buy it, I'll tell you to buy it. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy it. I'm not saying what this is. Y'all want to support them. I made it very clear. I'm not saying they should be gone. I do think they need to stop talking on Red Pill though and call it something else. Jason Black calls it the Black Book. He brands it. That way, you know, he says, fuck the Red Pill. I think they should do that because really what Myron and them talk about is more Blue Pill game than Red Pill game, really. But they should brand it and they make more money. Sell t-shirts, do something. I'm just saying they need to create that separation. That's all I'm saying. Whether they do it or not, that's neither nor there. I have not once said that they should be they shouldn't have a channel. But you have people where they're emotionally listening. And you all are making us look bad because all they got to do is these bitches got to do is point out the Fresh and Fit and then say all of our audiences are like y'all hoe ass niggas. Assuming y'all black. I don't even know. Maybe y'all white. I don't know.
They're not all black. That's the problem. They're not all black. It's a lot of, you know, like you said.
Yeah, I know the minority of them are black. It's actually mostly non-blacks. But yeah, like I was on Kev's show, like, and a white guy came on and was like, "Oh, well, so and so and da da da." White people are talking about this, so it's not. Yeah, I mean, and think about it. None of these motherfuckers ever think to themselves, "He's smashing all these bitches," because these chicks ain't even. A lot of these chicks ain't even attractive like that. I'm glad they're not black. I'm so glad they're not black women. I don't care. You know, I ain't that chick was wild and I was black. Although she was Afro Latina because she was speaking Spanish. We apply the bullshit in their proper place. So ADO's black women don't need to hold that L because as soon as she starts speaking Spanish, like, all right, well, that's not an ADO. Because that chick, I screenshotted that. I'm gonna make that a meme what she did. And Myron's credit, Myron handled that very well. Because he had to look like he wanted to slap her, and you know, I don't know honestly, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. He looked like he was trying to figure out what she was doing. I know I was, but whatever. But my thing is, it's just, I don't like the fuckboy shit. I don't give a fuck about. Just don't be sloppy. Like, I'm not like, you know, he had the right to leverage. Like I said, it was not sexual harassment. That's bullshit. But you got to understand that bitches do what bitches do. You yelling. Here's the thing, Kareem. You yelling it down doesn't matter. That's the thing, not you, but them yelling it, saying, "Oh, she's a raggedy bitch." Guess what? All them bitches did Bill Cosby was raggedy. They ain't stopped that prosecutor for doing what they're doing. Not saying Myra's in that much trouble, but I'm just saying that's not going to stop like these fucking blogs or these bigger blogs or Shade Room for getting their story out and then making it look bad. That's not going to stop that. That, you see what I'm saying? Like, so just because they're raggedy bitches, you all, and this is the shit that tells me what you all are learning. Because if you all are smart, you all will understand that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter in the court of public opinion. The women are always gonna win. That's why they're quick to say that bullshit. Like, I think that's a foul ball. That woman talk about she lose her baby. Now if that bitch gets an abortion and say she lost it because of Myron's fans, that's bullshit. But y'all gotta be aware. You all are a reflection of them, and you all think you're helping them. You're not. You all would do better shutting the fuck up. Now, I'm not saying the Duke is wrong for going on Jessica X's stuff, but all this shit with y'all just filling up people's comment sections, yeah, that worked real well with Auburn Preach, right?
Right. I mean, the fans need to take it easy. The fans need to take it easy. If they like them, just support them. Just support them and stay off other people's chat. Yeah, because niggas in the manosphere is looking at that these are low class bitches, that these are catch and release hoes. And then you got to use your business. You got to use a north of 100,000 a month business in order to close the deal on raggedy bitches. But y'all paying $1,000 for a consultation. Man, I got some Deer Park water for like $300 that'll make your dick grow to sell you. I'm getting off your panel. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I know I didn't let you talk a lot, being an asshole, but you made a good case. I know you. I know coming on your show that I'm gonna hear you.
Yeah.
You talk a lot. It's okay. It is what it is. That's your brand. That's your
Yeah.
brand. You know.
Yeah,
All
I'm a
right.
hater. Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, y'all go keep me up. I'm a hater. I hate Fresh and Fit. Man, get the fuck out of here. Y'all go piss me off. And nigga, if y'all don't shut the fuck up, you know what I'm gonna do is you keep talking. I dare you. I dare you. Say something in my fucking comment section. And what I'm going to do, you know what the fuck I'm going to do? I'm going to go get that Jason Black video and I'm going to do a breakdown and I'm going to make sure everybody see all the racist shit he doing. Myron said, and not some monkey sounds. Show him kissing out with these white dudes' ass. Anally. A 2-hour expose. Now, Jason Black has been getting on my nerves, but he'll be cool with me playing that shit. I get no buns. I get no buns. Okay. Okay. This is coming from Negroes that are in my chat section at 12 o'clock Western, 3 o'clock in the morning because you all don't have anything better to do. And a lot of y'all haven't seen that video. That's not true. He can't be racist. He's black. That's not true. I think I'm starting to realize what the problem is. The problem is I think we got some white soy boys in here. I know the Duke is black. But the rest of y'all is soy boys in here. A bunch of fucking interracial cuck porn watching motherfuckers. Y'all want to fuck Myron? Is that what it is? Y'all like Myron like these black females like Derrick Jackson? That would make sense as to why they make the kind of money they make. I don't know Rollo Tomasi. I've never listened to Rollo. I've listened to maybe 5 minutes of his content. He sounds like he knows how he makes sense. Understand something. O'Shea fucks with me. And real talk, O'Shea is one of the leaders, not the only one in the Black Manosphere. And your master stated that it was amicable with O'Shea. And O'Shea's a petty ass nigga. Yeah, what's up, BGS? You know, we got these we just got some white boys in here, you know, some white boys that you know, they got a hard on. I appreciate that, Diego. They got a hard on. You know, they on some fucking Myron. They on some, you know, Myron take care of a baby Myron has with a white chick, mixed baby, and the white chick gets with these white boys. That's what it is. I can see by some of the shit y'all throwing. Either y'all white or y'all foreign blacks. No, they are white manosphere. And I do believe. Absolutely. I mean, whatever. I mean, look, understand something. Principally, you know, the Black Manosphere gives a fuck about ADOS black men first. What y'all foreign dudes do is really not our concern. And that's generally the majority of black men that are over there in the white manosphere. Y'all ain't had y'all nigga wake up call. No, he's not infiltrating. He's not infiltrating because because typically the majority of the guys that fuck with him are like you, Duke, in the UK. Y'all motherfuckers don't deal with the same bullshit we deal with here, not in the same intensity. And I know that's true because of the 50% marry out rate y'all got. So the black manosphere, and look, we welcome all black men. We're not anti-ADOS, but at the same, we're not anti-non-ADOS at all. But we don't let y'all come with that bullshit. I mean, Jessica X is technically in the black manosphere, and she's from the UK. Shout out to One Master Teacher who's in the UK right now. But at the same time, you know, ADOS is our primary concern, and a lot of y'all, like come on, the Fresh and Fit, Albert Preach, all that is not ADOS bullshit. No, I haven't seen that. But yeah, y'all some. So if y'all, yeah, I mean, because let's keep it all the way real. Come on, let's keep it all the way real. What do all them motherfuckers have in common? The black dudes that are in the white manosphere, they don't fuck with black women. Most of the black manosphere, with the exception of maybe SYSBM, deals with black women. So we have different focuses. A lot of y'all are trying to learn how to get white bitches. And that's why that matters, because y'all are talking to y'all can't get raggedy ass basic bitches. A lot of y'all would be better served traveling, but whatever. I'm not here to sell you shit. You already bought. I ain't got nothing to sell you. Y'all can't even get fucking y'all can't even get, oh my God, whatever, man. That's true. I believe that most of them are non-black. So it is what it is. And at the end of the day, their marketing is excellent. Like I said, I'm not here to take money out their pocket, but I'm going to give my opinion, and that's what the fuck we do. Honestly, you ain't never heard me talk about Myron up until recently. And like I said, the only reason why I care is really because of how this could potentially affect us. That's it. I don't really give a fuck about any of it. Nobody has. That's why y'all ain't really seen it. Now that I'm looking, I'm seeing that Anthony Spade didn't have a problem with him. Like they always got dudes talking shit. They've been having dudes talk shit. MT was saying that he like people been saying it. But whatever. Anyway, shout out to BGS. I gotta check your video out about Sha'Carri. Shout out to Starscream. I appreciate y'all in here. Y'all lucky I gotta work. If I didn't have to work. Shout out to We Ain't Shit. This ain't what you want. Cause this ain't what you want. Motherfuckers talking to me. Anyway. Need to be worried about Jessica X. Man, Cole, stop. Y'all niggas would let another nigga blow the fucking manosphere up, but y'all worrying about one female. Stop it. All them bitches are whores. I'm like, yo, now that I think about it, all these bitches are raggedy. Damn. Anyway. That's Death Racer, shut up. Y'all dumb. And I'm talking about people that's on my side of the fence. you know, the thing about Walter, and and my name is Edward, so I ain't like, well, technically that's my middle name, so I'm not trying to disrespect him, but I'm not about to say no Fresh Prince CEO. Is he needs to stop fronting. Look, man, the dude is Caribbean. You look at him in his face, he don't look like he don't come off as like a weak ass dude, like so it's not. So I'm like, what are you proving? Why are you mad? Like, he could have honestly, he could have came up and completely control. He didn't even have to give up information he didn't know. He could have came up there real quick. Now, I'm going to tell you, he might have came up there if Fantastic wasn't there. I'll give him that, because I don't think Mike Rashid, and I hate saying that because I respect the fact that Jessica had a Manosphere representative up there, but I will give Walter the fact that, because I don't think Mike Rashid would have came up if it would have been another dude on there. And not because they're intimidated by dudes, but because he probably just didn't want to go back and forth like that. I might give you that. Well, I mean, that's his name. Just like I'm referring to Myron. That's not disrespectful. My middle name is Edward. Whatever. I'm not saying that to pick on him. That's his name. I know Myron is not his real name, but I don't want to say his real name because I don't want to fuck it up. You ain't, whatever. I mean, he could call her out. I don't care. I mean, he has a right to call her out, but you have to understand that you got dudes like, here's the thing. One of the things that y'all need to really get real quick, but especially, if I got white people in here, I want to be very clear here. Y'all, like, I've always stated, like, when Alan Roger Curry and a lot of these dudes be talking about all these MGTOW and a lot of these losers that be really overwhelming people's pages, I knew it wasn't black people doing that. I knew it was a lot of y'all loser ass white boys. I've always said that. And then black men gotta take the hit for what, like, when y'all ran Olivia Alexa off when she tried to come back. Because all of y'all jump back and forth between being MGTOW and then wanting to hope that y'all could get a bitch. So y'all jump in, it's like these bitches talk about being celibate and not being celibate. Yes, I do have a problem with Myron saying the N-word. Not so much that I'm about to make a big stink out about it. I've said what I've said, but first of all, why does Myron need to? Myron said, what did Myron say on his own video? He said he's not a street dude. He said, I'm not a snitch. I told you I'm in law enforcement. So why use the N-word? Why use the N-word? Why pretend like you got street credibility? I mean, shit, let's keep it all the way 100. Motherfuckers knew he was in law enforcement, and ain't nobody really used that against him like that. Let's keep that all the way real. So why use the word? I'm not trying to tell him what to say and what not to say. I mean, he had black, so whatever the fuck. I mean, Long Beach, Griffey say, people say it. I'm light-skinned myself, so whatever. But what I will say is, why go out of your way to try to front like you, especially when most of your audience is white anyway? That makes no sense to me. And here's the thing. I wouldn't have thought nothing of it if he wouldn't be making monkey sounds to describe somebody. And that's the shit that prompted me to go watch Jason Black's video, where he's talking about white people are the most discriminated against and all this other bullshit. With some of that could be him telling y'all what y'all want to hear. Because we already know anybody that's black is one fucked up thing away from white people, white men. Well, split. Yeah. Well, he's black when it's convenient. He's Arab when we know he's Arab. He's more Arab than black. We know that, but because that's what he claimed, just, but whatever. Kevin can't handle himself. End of story. And what I would say with Rolo on that is, I won't say that. I won't pull a race card. But because Rolo's protecting his business interests, and it is what it is. That's why I know they're gonna be all right. And like I said, I don't have a problem with them. Like, I'm not, look, understand something. We ain't the reason they lost subscribers. Anyway, I done been on this. I done let y'all, congratulations, y'all won. Damn, Jesse. My bad, Jesse. I didn't see this. If I would have seen this, I would have brought you up. Congratulations, y'all won. Y'all beat me. Y'all got me wasting time like a motherfucker. It's 3:30. I'm on this bitch. Y'all won. So let the record show, by the way, that a dude from the UK said the monkey sound was funny to me. I didn't know it was a big deal. Doing the monkey sound is pretty much the sound version of calling somebody a nigger, by the way, Duke. The fact that you said that tells me everything I need to know about you. First of all, let's keep it real. Nobody was sitting there cheerleading Fresh and Fit's nobody was out here cheerleading Fresh and Fit's losing subscribers, by the way. You ain't seen not a single video saying, yay, they're losing subscribers. So y'all need to stop acting like y'all need to stop fronting like motherfuckers are really coming at them like on some kill shot shit. He claimed black. He probably claimed black. Well, yeah, because Arabs see themselves as a hierarchy. So they can just like how Jewish people probably see Drake as Jewish, as black. That doesn't matter. That's not how that works. A lot of Afro-Latinas, like Dominicans, come on, let's not play that game. Yeah, so you're just like King Riches, Duke. Yes, I'm pretty sure you were. Shout out to Hush Puppy. If you know, you know. And y'all got to understand, of all this stuff, like I said, ain't nobody was UK is racist as fuck. Yeah, UK has its racism, but UK ain't got shit on us. Men we like and respect vouch for those dudes. The presence of those men brought black support to them. Where's the account? Well, shit. Well, nigga, that ain't my job. Talking about the accountability. Y'all know that shit just like I do. Really, O'Shea has already said what O'Shea has said. And the truth is, really not a lot of our audience listens to them. That's the issue, Black Guru. None of our audience really listens to them like that. So they just want... Yeah. I mean, they can take shots at Kevin all day, but at the end of the day, Kevin, let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way 100. All them other motherfuckers are depending on, are trying to ride the coattails of Myron and Fresh and Fit. And that's why, by the way, folks ain't really been saying shit. Like I said, as long as they weren't sloppy and things weren't blowing up, then people didn't care because they're looking at it as far as their business interests. But see, I'm gonna tell you why they're fucking stupid. Because Myron, if they're not bringing, Myron's the type of guy, if they're not bringing value to him, he will turn on them once he don't need them no more. And that's them. I don't know what they should do. They want to roll that dice, roll it. But I've already seen that come out. And y'all know good, and you could tell how these motherfuckers are acting in this chat. That so shit. Whatever. I could believe that Arms Magadon. I could believe that. I could believe that. As far as he's a son. Man, please. Nobody owns the Myron is the true Nubian. Nigga, oh my God. Duke, you know who the fuck you remind me of? There's a guy on my channel by the name of Smurgo. One day I'm gonna get you on a panel with him. And then you will know who you are. The thing is, UK has more of a classism thing that kind of takes place of the racism. So I get it. I'm not saying y'all don't go through no shit. That's not what I'm saying. But our brand of white supremacy is very unique. Shout out to Black Hoover again. Black men giving them a coolness factor that draws white support. So even if we are not their primary client, our presence has helped them. You're absolutely correct. No, he ain't Duke. He ain't Duke. You're absolutely right about that. He's from the UK. Oh, what the fuck? All right, I did this for 3 hours. Y'all beat me. Y'all kept me on this motherfucker, and I'm gonna regret this shit waking up. Hey, yo, I'm interested. Hey, yo, y'all do me a favor. This is going to sound weird, but since y'all already assholes and y'all go fuck yourselves anyway, go ahead and give this video a dislike. I'm curious if we can make this the most disliked video of my, go ahead and give this a dislike. I want to see if we can make this the most disliked video in my portfolio. I'm not asking y'all to do nothing y'all already don't want to do anyway. So do me a favor and hit me with a dislike. I'm curious to see how far it go. See how much y'all support Myron since y'all don't like what the fuck I said, and hit me with a dislike. Let's see what we can do with that. So anyway, if any of y'all like anything I fucking said, make sure you subscribe. If you don't, go fuck yourself. And like I said, hit that dislike button. Shout out to Xanatos. You know, we just had our first light skin supremacy meeting. We didn't realize that's what it was until the end. But like I said, make sure y'all hit that dislike. Show y'all displeasure. If you leave a dumbass comment, I'm just gonna remove it. If I read the first words and I don't like it, I'm just gonna remove it. I normally respond to all my comments, but I'm not gonna hear y'all bitch and cry. But if y'all don't like the video, make sure you get me a dislike. Make sure y'all do that. I'm not asking you to troll. I was very clear. Give me a dislike. So anyway, this is Edward with Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm out. Peace.